One. Let's turn our attention to tonight's game. It's match 2 in Group B. Last night we saw co-host Canada draw 1-1 with Bosnia. Now it's the turn of Switzerland and Qatar. These two have only met once before in 2018. Qatar winning that game. Akram Afif with the only goal. Mike, bring us the team news. Who to look out for in terms of names we know?
Yeah, Akram Afif is certainly the Qatar star man. He's their biggest rated player in the country. Interestingly, their goalkeeper, Abu Nada, has had to wait 5 years for his big moment. He's been on the bench. He was on the bench in the 2022 World Cup, but he gets his shout today. There is only, of the 26-man Qatar squad, there is only one man who plays his football outside of Qatar. He plays for a Spanish club owned by a Qatar company. His name is Homam Ahmed. He starts at left back today, but the rest are all very well-known stars back in their own country. The Switzerland side is a lot more familiar to those of UK football, but also particularly European football. Gregor Kobel is their goalkeeper. Manuel Akanji, once of Manchester City, has now had his loan move to Inter Milan made permanent this summer with them winning Serie A. Sunderland fans and a lot of Premier League fans will be more than familiar with the work of Granit Xhaka. He captains the Switzerland side. Dan Ndoye of Nottingham Forest starts today, most likely, I think, because Noah Okafor of Leeds United is still trying to get his minutes and build his fitness back from the injury, the hamstring injury he picked up with Leeds United. Breel Mbolo is well known across particularly French football as well. So more recognisable names certainly in the Switzerland squad than the Qatar squad. And the Qatar team have certainly had a lot of chopping and changing of their managers. He's certainly a name that everybody will know. The Qatar boss is one Julian Lopetegui, the former Wolves and West Ham man.
Yeah, Julian Lopetegui, who, he didn't have the best of times at both Wolves or West Ham. 2019, he was at Wolves, 27 games in charge. At West Ham, 22 games and 6 months in charge. Just looking at this group, Rachel Corsi, should Switzerland be thinking, yeah, we need to go and blitz this?
They'll feel confident, I think. I think it's a group that's favourable for them. I watched the Canada-Bosnia game yesterday and I felt Bosnia didn't offer loads but are effective at set pieces, as Canada found out the hard way. But I actually thought Canada's intensity was pretty impressive, and potentially, that's going to be the last group game for them. The Canada-Switzerland one, the bit of pressure on Canada, who'll want to top the group, because obviously that means they get to maintain that home advantage they'll want to lean on. Switzerland are certainly, for me, the team that I would look at and think they should be certainly capable of progressing, and that's really what it's about. You've got to progress, and you've got to just take each game as it comes, and they come into it in good form.
Clinton, this is a squad loaded with European experience, top-level European experience in Switzerland, and 6 of those players have played in the Premier League as well. Dan Ndoye is going to be key for him, 4 goals in his last 5.
Yeah, he will be, but I do think Okafor, who had a good season for Leeds and Mike alluded to it, got a few injuries. I think he'll be the main man for them, because you think Shaqiri's not there anymore, so who's going to grab the game by the scruff of the neck? Obviously not today. I think Dan Ndoye had an indifferent season for Forest, but he's a threat. He can cause problems. I'll tell you one thing, I agree with Rachel, is Switzerland will cause a lot of teams problems in this tournament. Some of the big teams as well. They've got experience, they've got know-how, and they've got a fantastic captain who's coming off of a great season.
Rachel, thank you so much for your company this evening. Catch you on the telly a little bit later on, 1 BBC One. Haiti versus Scotland commentary here on 5 Live. We are going to be taking you to San Francisco in a moment because Julian Lopetegui is heading to his 3rd World Cup. Well, that's with an asterisk. The first one, he was the 3rd choice goalkeeper for Spain in 1994. The second, of course, Mike Maine, was back in 2018, where he arrived as Spain manager, announced he was heading to Real Madrid after the tournament, and was sacked a day later. Will it be 3rd time lucky for Lopetegui, this time as manager of Qatar, winless in 8 months? Here it is, Qatar versus Switzerland, Group B at the 2026 FIFA World Cup, in the company of Clinton Morrison and Mike Maine.
Well, thank you, Aaron. Julian Lopetegui makes his way out. 2 teams in the tunnel. We've had the 3 current hosts get us underway at this World Cup. Now it's the time for 2 former hosts. Qatar's perhaps a little fresher in the memory from 2022. Switzerland were the hosts back in 1954 when England went out in the quarter-finals. Back then, perhaps much like when Qatar hosted 3.5 years ago. The remaining players just make their way out of the changing rooms here in San Francisco. Akram Afif tying up his pink and white boots, the white laces. He's got the afro hair, instantly recognisable, and is very much the star of Qatar football. Still a few days out from England playing in Group L, of course. This is Group B, the same group as Canada and Bosnia, who drew 1-1 yesterday. And with Granit Xhaka stern-faced, looks like he's chewing a little bit of gum before he walks out of the tunnel. The hopes are high for him leading Switzerland out, Clinton. This is their chance to lay down an early marker. Yeah, definitely. And they've got experience. They always manage to qualify for major tournaments. They've got a lot of experience. The manager's experience, was a good player in his day as well. So, yeah, let me tell you, they'll cause a lot of problems. It's a big game for Qatar, though, and you're not gonna roll over. It's gonna be difficult for Switzerland. They'll make it difficult, hard to break down. I think they'll play a low block and Qatar will try and play on the counter attack. But yeah, you fancy Switzerland to be the favourites this evening, that's for sure. Yeah, Switzerland now in their 7th successive major tournament after missing out on Euro 2012. In the last 6 major tournaments, they've got out the group. Qatar have qualified for a World Cup direct for the very first time in their history. They, of course, as hosts, got an automatic place in 2022 when they lost all 3 group stage games and only scored the 1 goal. 2 warm-up games for both of these sides. Qatar lost 1-0 against the Republic of Ireland, which I'm sure Clinton had a strong interest in. 0-0 with El Salvador too. The 2 teams emerged from the tunnel. Back home, they're not carrying great high hopes. Qatar, the team has chopped and changed its manager 3 times since the last World Cup. Switzerland beat Jordan 4-1 before a 1-1 draw with Australia. They are carrying strong. Granit Xhaka has been speaking about how he wants to win the World Cup. There is a definite feeling that they can give any nation a run for their money. Yeah, they definitely can. I said it when we're speaking to Aaron there and Rachel. I think they've got a great chance, Switzerland. Their squad's good. They've got players that can come off the bench. They've got experience. And you know what they've got? They've got players that have had good seasons. So they're coming into this tournament off the back of a good season. I think that helps massively. So, as Granit Xhaka said, he thinks they can win the World Cup. So you got to believe. You can't go to a World Cup, even if you don't think it. Can't come out and say it. But I bet inside they do believe they've got a great chance. So the 2 teams have emerged from the corner here in San Francisco, led by 2 mascots, one carrying the maroon and white Qatar flag, split half and half with a zigzag effect down the middle. Switzerland's red and white flag, the red background, the white cross. On the pitch, 2 large flags. To the left, the Qatar flag bent along one long edge to mirror the centre circle. Switzerland's flag to the other side, similar fashion. And between those flags, the players, all of them, all 26, emerge and stand either side of the centre circle. The new warm-up, the walkouts rather, as both managers, Qatar's Julian Lopetegui and Murat Yakin of Switzerland, shake hands on the sidelines. It is time for the national anthems.
please remain standing, if you were able, for the playing of the national anthem of Switzerland.
Qatar's national anthem, followed by Switzerland's in the glorious sunshine of San Francisco. 21 degrees at the moment, 0% chance of rain in the Sunshine State. A great stadium that it reminds me a little bit of the Mestalla, the home of Valencia. Perhaps not as steep as a Spanish stadium, but three flowing stands, a couple of tiers at least on each that link the two goals on the far side. And then one separate stand along one side of the pitch. It hosted Super Bowl 60 in February. Seattle Seahawks were crowned world champions. This very much a World Series that features more than one country. So the players that are part of the starting 11 move alongside the centre circle and shake hands and bump fists with one another. This is how Qatar line up. Mahmoud Abu Nader, the Qatari's FA Goalkeeper of the Year at a recent award ceremony, is in goal. It is a back four of Ayoub Aloui, Pedro Miguel, who is of Cape Verdean descent, Boulem Kouki and Homan Ahmad as their back line. Jassem Jabber and Issa Laya in midfield. In front of them, the three of Edmilson, Madibo and Akram Afif, who is considered the shining star of this Qatar team. And Yusuf Abdurisag is their main target up front. We were talking off-air, Clinton, about how Julian Lopetegui perhaps has a conservative style of approach. Do you think, looking at the formation, looking at the team, that's exactly what to expect this afternoon?
Yeah, definitely. He's playing a 4, which I'm surprised at. I thought he might play a 5 and literally just leave one up front and just pack the midfield, but it's a difficult one because you sit back and eventually you will concede in this heat. You've got to know your team to keep possession at certain times, but I do think it will be a defensive option without a shadow of doubt, and they'll play on the counter-attack. Our
VAR officials are on the screen at the moment. Very, very smiley set of officials from Mexico and Uruguay. I have to say, that is the brightest smile I think I've ever seen a referee or his team post.
Unbelievable. Usually in VAR you're not smiling that much, so they must be doing it right.
Yeah. Doing it in San Francisco
exactly,
as well.
So you're definitely doing it right.
Enjoying the sunshine, no doubt. Let's have a look at the Switzerland team. They have a few more familiar names, perhaps certainly to those who watch UK and European football. Dortmund's Gregor Kobel is their goalkeeper. He replaced the famous Jan Sommer as the international #1 after Euro 2024 when Sommer retired. Three at the back, Denis Zakaria, Manuel Akanji, who's now permanently at Inter Milan, and Nico Elvedi. Abisha, Freuler and Rodriguez in a 4-man midfield with Sunderland's Granit Xhaka, who captains the side. Ruben Vargas hasn't scored since November, but is part of an attacking trio that features Nottingham Forest Dan and Doy and Rennes Breel and Bolo.
Yeah, they've got a good attacking option, and Bolo's the one who I look for, and he's a threat. If you can get him fit and firing, I remember coming into the last tournament, which I covered, and he played with a lot of injuries, but he's fit, he's got pace, he can cause problems, not just to Qatar, to the big nations, countries as well. But yeah, he's a threat. I like Mbolo, and it'll be interesting to see how he gets on in this tournament.
So the fans seem in good spirits as well. We've seen pictures of Qatari supporters in their traditional white robes, one carrying a very good replica of the World Cup. Switzerland fans, a couple of them in their red and white half and half wigs as well. The two teams are in huddles either side of the halfway line. They've been made to switch ends at the start of this game as well. So Qatar will have their maroon shirts shorts and socks to match. And Switzerland are in a grey and green swirled kind of outfield shirt with the slightly more clearer grey shorts and socks as well. The players break away from their huddles. Two managers just emerge onto the edge of their technical area. Julian Lopetegui says it's one of the greatest achievements qualifying for the World Cup with Qatar. Didn't get his chance with Spain in 2018, so his chance to show what he can do in 2022. The countdown begins from 10 to 1. And at the home of the Golden Gate Bridge in Alcatraz, the steep hills and the cable cars, Switzerland get us underway. Qatar are from right to left in this first half, and Switzerland from left to right. Yeah,
as I said, I'm looking at the formation at the moment, and it looks like Qatar are going to play with the three up front. So they are going to go for it. They're not just going to sit back, and I think they'll get to certain areas, Switzerland, and then they'll go and press them. So, but we will expect the Swiss side to dominate possession in this game this evening.
Qatar, who needed to get to the fourth qualifying round of the Asian Confederations set up as Switzerland have the early chance, edge of the D, the half volley. I think it was Mbolo in there taking on the shot directly in the middle of the D that hit a defender, and more defending for Qatar to do here as it's semi cleared away. Akram Afif was back there doing defensive duties. They'll need him pushing further forward. The press is on from Youssef Abdurisag, but it's all the way back with the Switzerland goalkeeper Gregor Kerbel, and they will start again from the back. But the intent from the Swiss is visible for all to see. Yeah,
it was a good run, and it's a good ball from Rodriguez. He plays on that left-hand side and causes a lot of problems, Rodriguez. He's an attacking fullback, but he could be playing as the wing-back today. But it looks like, at the moment, they're setting up as a 4, and Sakiri is playing on the right-back, in the right-back position, where I thought he might play as a third centre-half.
Afif nicks the ball away from Switzerland just outside the centre circle. Abdurisag then lets Afif take over as he bundles his way through out towards this near side, the left of Qatar. Header forward again by Abdurisag, and Qatar are in round the back here. Chance for the shot that hits the legs of Kerbel. It was a low effort from Edmilson Jr. Just broke in left of the D, looking for the far corner. Kerbel got his legs in the way.
He has to score, Edmilson Jr. Kerbel makes a good save, but he has to score. It's good play. He just kicks it straight at Kerbel. He's got to try and open up his body right foot and bend it into that far corner. It was a mistake from Akanji.
Less than 2 minutes played and a chance for each, and Qatar might not get as many chances as Switzerland. They have to take them. Akanji got the ball caught between his legs, took almost an air swipe at the ball in trying to clear it. That had allowed Edmilson through, and it hits the left leg, then the right of Gregor Kerbel, and that takes the pace all off the ball. 0-0 still, but a bright start in San Francisco. Yeah, really good start. Kerbel, listen, I can understand what he's doing, trying to do Edmilson Jr., but for me, if he just opens his body, he can get more power on the instep. He's trying to go with the outside of his boot, and it's a difficult skill, especially when it's this early. But good save from Como, and yeah, this is the pattern of the game. Qatar defending in their numbers and trying to play on the counter-attack. Well, it nearly worked for them. Edmilson, born in Belgium, to a dad who played for the national side of Belgium, but he was nationalised in Qatar in 2024. The offside flag is up on a Switzerland attack on the far side, so that will be a free kick to Qatar. Slightly too eager on the movement on the far side. Defence held its line well, so that'll be a free kick, although they need a ball, and that's exactly what's been signalled by Pedro Miguel. Cape Verdean descent. He can play right back or centre back, filling in at centre back today. Over 100 caps for Qatar as he plays the long free kick forward. It is headed across by Homan Ahmed, brought down in the centre circle by Issa Lai, and then stabbed forward rather aimlessly by Ayoub Aloui. They will chase it down, but Switzerland will mop that up at the back, and Manuel Akanji hopefully for a better touch this time. 0-0. Yeah, he's had a good season at Inter Milan, but he started a bit sloppy, Akanji, a bit lacklustre. And as I say, in these big tournaments, you don't usually get opportunities like that. Qatar should be winning this game so far, 1-0. On the right comes Switzerland as in comes Ahmed, makes the challenge. It is a fair one on the advancement of Dennis Zakaria, former Chelsea man, former Monaco man too. Listed as the right defender today, but that's what he's going to do. He's going to get forward and attack the wing space.
Yeah, he is. I feel like we've got them down as like a 5, but I think he could be playing as a right back higher up and getting forward, just because Switzerland are going to dominate the possession.
Early cross deflects off a Qatari head, needs the goalkeeper Abu Nada to catch on the byline to prevent the corner as the shadow of the spider cam just moves across his 6-yard box. In no rush here, Abu Nada, and hasn't yet touched the ball with his hands, waiting for a little bit of Swiss pressure. They weren't exactly keen to put the pressure on the goalkeeper there. With a side from Europe, as it's played long across the halfway line. Game of head tennis goes on, then cleared back over into the Qatar half, away to our right-hand side. Half a clearance and then gets to the edge of the centre circle. But now it's Switzerland in on the right of the penalty area. Low shot could save Abu Nada. Down to his right-hand side with the palm of his hand, and it's cleared away by the Qatar defence. Whistle's gone anyway for seemingly an injury on Pedro Miguel. All happening once again, still 0-0.
Abu Nada makes a brilliant save. They're getting a bit of a muddle up there. It's a good little ball, and he's in, Dan and Doy. You know about his pace. We've seen it so many times this season. He gets the shot away, but it's a good save from Abu Nada. You know what, Mike, the save, why it's so good is because he parries it away. He has to parry it into danger, but he gets so much power on it because then Mbula's coming in for a tap-in. It's a good save. 4
clean sheets in his last 6 for club and country. Abu Nada perhaps showing why he is the Qatar goalkeeper of the year.
Yeah, that's a good save. It's a very, very good save, to be fair, because Dan Ndoye does put his foot through it.
So it will be a free kick to Qatar. Julian Lopetegui in his navy polo shirt stands on the edge of his technical area. The boos are going round for perhaps the delay on this free kick. The referee will keep an eye on that. We know in certain situations time wasting won't be tolerated at this World Cup, as Switzerland emerge with the ball on the halfway line, try and play it into the path of Briel Mbolo. He's late, I think, to the ball and catches a man, does he? In Pedro Miguel, who seems to be in the thick of it from the opening 7 minutes or so.
You know what, mate? He's a strong boy, Pedro Miguel. And Mbolo, he's got to come to the ball. That's what he can be. It's like he's so effective, but I feel like he's so reactive. And he could be a very good striker because he's a handful.
So free kick to the left of the centre circle. Qatar 0, Switzerland 0 in the second of the Group B games. Canada and Bosnia drawing 1-1 yesterday. Qatar might not be targeting Switzerland for a point, you never know. And they will certainly look at Canada and Bosnia to perhaps get their first memorable moment in a World Cup and get that first win. Disappointing 3.5 years ago when they hosted. Switzerland have never progressed to the quarter-finals of a World Cup since they hosted in 1954. They're certainly a side that wants to rewrite that history, as Vargas brings it down on the far side touchline, midway inside the Qatar half, plays it back to the midway point. Akanji's allowed to roam forward once more to inside the Qatar territory. Here is Zakaria, moves out towards the right-hand touchline. Half a challenge comes in, pushes the ball to the byline, squeezes in the cross, hits the defender at source. First corner of the game is a Swiss one. Yeah,
when you see Zakaria at the right back, because I've known him as a midfielder, like combative in midfielder, just getting it, breaking up and easy. So he's going to have a big role. They're going to have to keep shifting the ball, Switzerland, because Qatar have a good shape. This is where they could be a threat as well from set pieces.
So Ricardo Rodriguez with his hair shaved at the sides but longer on top, tied back in a very tight bun, is preparing to take this corner from the near side. The right, in swinging, left-footed delivery, hooked up with those pink boots, headed away, only further onto the rear of the penalty area here. Switzerland get hold of the second ball. Vargas twists and turns up against Abdurisag, the striker, getting back there. He's able to get the cross in again, blocked almost immediately, and now can Qatar get on the counter-attack with a thief across the halfway line. Right-hand side, needs to support Abdurisag. He's trying to get over with him as Akrif chips it over past one Swiss defender, but there's good recovery at the back. And Switzerland are able to deal with it. Granit Xhaka, 33 years old rather, still racing back, still got energy in those legs to help his side defend that.
Yeah, he's good. We've known the season he's had at Sunderland, he was outstanding, and he takes that form onto the World Cup. And he just lets the players run arm around him, and he does all the, keeps it ticking 1 and 2 touch. I think he's had a really good season.
Xhaka 35 yards from goal, did have a look forward, decided there was no option, and so has played it out towards this near side for Abisha. Quick one-touch passing from Switzerland just to lay it back to Elvedi. Here is a Kanji, centre-back, midway inside the Qatar half. Such is the deep-set nature of the Middle Eastern side. The pullback is in and the shot is just over the bar. Dan Ndoye, flash shot on the penalty spot, left-footed and wide at the top left corner of the goal, 0-0.
He has to hit the target, Dan Ndoye. It's good play down the left-hand side between Vargas and Rodriguez. And Rodriguez, instead of putting it across the 6-yard box, he cuts it back to Dan Ndoye. Always leaning back, Dan Ndoye has to hit the target in that position. It's a great opportunity.
Hit the target like you did in 2004 against Switzerland, eh, Clinton?
Yeah, I remember that game as well. I feel like I scored with a header as well, bottom corner.
1-1 draw at St Jakob Park.
That's it was, yep. I remember it.
Home of Basel. 0-0 here, though, between Qatar and Switzerland. 10 minutes played, BBC Radio 5 Live. 4 games across the World Cup, starting with this one tonight. And, of course, Scotland at 2 o'clock as they take on Haiti. Trip on a Switzerland player just outside the left corner. There is an appeal, certainly from Jassim Yaba, that is a dive. Of course, they can have a look at that if needs be. Jabba certainly making the diving signal, but I think he catches the legs there of Vargas.
Yeah, definitely. There's no diving that, yeah, but he's completely late. But Vargas is a player who can cause a lot of problems, got a lot of trickery on the wings.
So Vargas, there seems to be a lengthy time before the ball boys, ball girls realise that an extra ball, a multi-ball, as they may say in America, is needed here. Referee puts down the foam and now starts to pace out the 10 yards to the free kick of Switzerland. At the Qatar 2-man wall is behind. Ed Milson and Afif tasked with maybe being the first line of defence. Everybody back inside the penalty area for Qatar here. Abu Nada has organised the defence as it is swung in towards the near post, gets a flick on but not enough. And Abu Nada can clutch on his goal line, drops down to his knees. One touch, one more convincing touch. That's flying in the back of the net.
Yeah, it's a good ball from Vargas. It's low, and Qatar don't deal with it. They don't have someone at the near post. Abu Nada gets fortunate that no one across the front post gets a good enough contact on it. But it feels like the goal is coming for Switzerland. They're knocking on the door.
Certainly does. That one bright moment at the start for Qatar is all we've seen from an attacking sense from them. Played 12 minutes, still 0-0. As Nico Elvedi, the Borussia Mönchengladbach man, has been there since 2015 as well. Sends the ball out towards the left-hand side. Now another cross comes in, sliding challenge that sends the ball flying up in the air from Ayoub Aloui. They've kept it in on the byline of Switzerland but can't do anything with it. Qatar able to see it clear, and once again picked up by Elvedi inside the centre circle. Yeah,
they're dominating now, Switzerland, knocking on that door, moving the ball 1 and 2 touch. They look really bright.
On their qualifying group did Switzerland, as Abisha, right-hand side, just tries to feed it in low, in between box and touchline, but Zakaria wasn't quite up to speed with it, and it was able for Issalai just to clear a way out for a throw-in on this near side, but it's going to come back at Qatar again. All one-way traffic. Zakaria in, and there's the chance. Goalkeeper Abu Nada has caught his man. The ball hits the post. Referee says penalty. He was certainly waiting for the advantage to see if the ball had crossed the line. I think it's Dan Ndoye who's been caught by Abu Nada, who is flat down on the floor. I think he's taken a hefty knock himself. The medics are waved on. Penalty to Switzerland. Abu Nada took out Dan Ndoye. The ball rolled towards the post but didn't go in, and the referee says penalty.
Yeah, it's a good ball from Zakaria, and I think they'll check that, but Mbolo's onside. I think it's Freuler. He might be offside, you know. It might be Freuler. He might just have gone just a yacht. It might be just a toenail offside, but they will be checking this on VAR for sure. But if he is, it's a stonewall penalty.
Yeah, it is Freuler who is caught. What happened to Dan Ndoye was in the aftermath chasing the ball to the post. He smacked into the post himself. He's up, he's okay. It is Freuler who I think is also back on his feet. It is Abu Nada, the goalkeeper, the man who made the foul to give away the penalty, which VAR is checking. That display is on our screens at the moment, but it's Abu Nada who's come off second best.
He is, but it's a pen. Oh, it's just a sore one from Abu Nada. You hope he's all right. He does catch Freuler, but it's his head that then goes into Freuler's thigh, and it rocks his head back. So you do hope he's all right. I think the only thing they'll be checking for is he offside, but he might be just onside.
He's come leaping out of his goal. He's completely missed the ball with two hands, lurching forward. And you're right, Clinton, it's the head that connects with the thigh, if not the hip, and that's maybe what sent him crashing to the ground and certainly unable to move. He's up on his feet, he's splashing his face with water. He'll be okay to continue, providing I think they will also check, of course, the concussion protocols.
Yeah, that's good news. He started the game ever so well, and it did look like a bad head injury, but yeah, he's recovered all right, and it looks like the penalty's been given, because I think maybe they're still waiting for it. It's definitely the contact is a penalty, but it was if they're just checking for offside, but it looks like maybe it's been cleared and checked.
Yeah, and the offside is that of Mbolo, who headed the ball forward into that danger zone in the middle of the 6-yard box as Zacharias swung the ball in from the right-hand side, almost on the corner of the penalty area. In doing so, Zacharias. Abu Nada's just told to back away here, despite some protests towards the referee.
It makes me laugh nowadays, Mike, where everyone's just crowding around the penalty. My day and age, no one's going near that spot because I'm just taking the ball and you're not going near that. Everyone does it now, and then they give the ball to, it probably is Mbolo that's going to take the penalty. It's never the penalty taker that takes it nowadays. It's crazy, isn't it?
So up steps Breel Mbolo, scored a penalty in the win over Jordan in a warm-up to the World Cup, a 4-1 win. Abu Nada is booked for his protests. Referee not happy with his dissent there, so that's a yellow card as well, on top of everything else for the goalkeeper, who 4 years ago was sat on the bench, now gets his chance, and he hasn't really made a great impression to his first World Cup finals. 0-0 the score, lengthy delay before this penalty, 16 minutes on the clock, 0-0. This is the chance for Switzerland to get in front. Referee checking the penalty area. The ball has been on the spot a while, and Mbolo, 4 or 5 paces back from the ball. It's going to be a pretty central run-up. Stands with his feet shoulder width apart. He walks up to the ball. Mbolo scores. Bottom left-hand corner. Goalkeeper goes the other way, and Switzerland take the lead in their opening World Cup match. This side that are here to impress, the side that feel they can take their chances, have taken the first one they've really been presented with. Qatar 0, Switzerland 1.
Yeah, it's a good penalty. He never looked like he was going to miss. I was a bit nervous for him because the ref was delaying it, but I feel he looks at the goalkeeper the whole time, knows where the ball is, waits for him to move, and then just side foots it into that bottom corner. It's a fantastic penalty from Mbolo.
11 goals he's scored for his country since the start of 2025, more altogether than in the previous 6 years combined. The Rennes man, 8 goals in 31 league games in France this season, has scored to put Switzerland in front. The fans jumping for joy in the stands. And Mbolo was embraced by his teammates, and it is just the start that perhaps they wanted, certainly many expected. Bar an opening minute lapse in concentration from Akanji, they have barely let Qatar have a chance to breathe from a defensive point of view, and are good value for their lead.
Yeah, they deserve it, to be fair. Qatar had a great opportunity from Ed Milson, and that was the opportunity, Mike, where you're thinking, when you get them opportunities, you're not going to get many from Switzerland. You've got to be ruthless, but Switzerland have dominated so far.
So Switzerland's side, where only 2 of 26 actually play in the country, Fashnak and Keller, both are on the bench. A lot of this side coming to prominence in Europe. They're very proud they have a lot of players playing in the top league. Some feel the Swiss domestic league is taking a hit because of that. So it's a fine balancing act for the public to get behind, but I guess if the national side's winning, those arguments quieten down for a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. You do want more people playing in your league, but as you said, if they're winning football matches, that's the most important thing, the country.
So 2 of 26 play in Switzerland, 25 of 26 play in Qatar. There's a contrast there. The Qatar League that had to have a couple of weeks suspended due to the conflict in the Middle East. That was in March. They weren't able to play their March friendlies against Argentina and Serbia, so preparation has been difficult for Julian Lopetegui, the manager, who still stands rather calm on the edge of his technical area. Here's Afif, plays it back into his own half. And it's just a chance maybe now for Qatar to get the ball and compose themselves a little bit.
And you know what it is? You're also representing your country, Qatar, but also players can impress. There's a lot of people, you know, watching from European football that are watching these players and could say, there's a star there, maybe we could sign him after the World Cup. So I always feel when you come to major tournaments like that, who can be the star that impresses, that no one really heard of?
Yeah, a chance to perhaps become the new star of FIFA is that man. But they've got to now all step up and come united, and the link-up quite hasn't been there as Abu Nada, the goalkeeper, left-footed, slices one out of play. Much more calmer and reassured. Murat Yakin, grey-haired, medium length, swept aside for the Swiss manager, who said he got a tingle for the World Cup when the draw happened in December. Gianni Infantino, the FIFA president, is here today. I wonder how many of the 104 games he's going to take in during this World Cup.
Good question. I can't do that whole 104, that's for sure.
It would take some serious private jet work.
Exactly, I was just about to say that. Unless he's got his private jet.
Ball forward again for Switzerland. It's let run. This is a chance of Zakaria at the near post. Right-footed low shot, saved by the legs of Abu Nada. Ball flies up into the air. Qatar are first to the second ball, and are able once again to hack that away. Once again out for a Swiss throw-in, but it just looks a little too easy for the Swiss at the moment.
Yeah, it is. Zakaria, see, he's getting into positions where you didn't think. It was a great little over to Mbula and plays it back to him. It's a good save.
Switzerland now on the far side left. Cross comes from the corner of the penalty area is closed down immediately. And then Switzerland player misplaced past themselves. It goes out for a Qatar throw. Here's another look at the Zakaria chance. He dummied it at first. Left for Mbolo to play through, and then Zakaria right at the 6-yard box, had a tight angle, couldn't make it quite work for him.
Yeah, good save. Zakaria, it's not the finish you want. He should probably be going across him, but he tries to beat him at the near post, but it's a really good save. But good play again from Switzerland down the right-hand side.
Qatar 0, Switzerland 1, 21 minutes play. BBC Radio 5 live. Brazil, Morocco follows us tonight at 11 o'clock UK time. Scotland, Haiti. And he's from 2 o'clock. And watch that on the BBC as well. Here come Switzerland down the right-hand side. Little miscontrol initially from Dan Doy, who is on the right-hand side, the near side here. Lays it back to Abisha. So much attacking options on that right-hand side. Abisha's been forward in this game. Zakaria we've seen. Dan Doy's there too, but now Switzerland choose to go on the far side, the left. Freuler gives it to Vargas. Vargas tries to change the pace, and he is tripped. And that is a free kick. It is also going to be a yellow card for Jassim Jabba. Caught out, not for the first time in this game, by the trickery of Rubin Vargas.
Yeah, it's good skill from Vargas, but for me, that's not a foul. Jabba just puts his body across him and stops him from going, and Vargas is just waiting for the contact. It's not even a foul, let alone a yellow card, so I think the referee makes the wrong decision there.
Jabba, who came to prominence in the Qatar side in the semi-finals of the 2023 Asian Cup, getting his first taste of the World Cup in San Francisco. Not a cloud in the sky on the west coast of America. Vargas is already putting one dangerous free kick from the left-hand side. We'll look to do so again here. Qatar 0, Switzerland 1. Abu Nada bent over at his near post, organising a two-man wall once again. The same components of that wall in Akram Afif and Milson Jr. as it was before. What is Rubin Vargas going to do here? There's a busy looking edge of the 6-yard box. Everybody back for Qatar. He's gone near post and headed behind for a corner by Jabba. Made amends there.
Yeah, it's a big header from Jabba, and they're going to have the water break now, but it's a good ball from Vargas. It's like a cross come shot, but he is going for it and wants players to get across, but it's a really important header.
I appreciate they've got to do it as close to the midway point of the first half as possible, but a hydration break on a corner?
Yeah, I don't understand it. And I agree with you, Mike. I know they have to do it because of the conditions, but surely you can let the corner go and then do it after.
Exactly. Yeah, see what happens. Goal, there's a perfect chance for a break. Goal kick, there's another, but yeah, although it is a rather relaxed Swiss side, they didn't make too many complaints at the hydration break. Just in the low early 20s, the temperature in San Francisco, just past midday, 8 hours behind the UK. I think this is a rather easy hydration hydration break for Switzerland. It might be a little more tricky for Julian Lopetegui. He's got to find a way to get his side back in the game, because defensively they've had to stand up tall, but they've shown nothing going forward.
No, as I said, they only had the one opportunity where they should have scored earlier, and it was a good save. But other than that, and they've been too easy to be opened up. I don't know what their game plan is at the moment, because you know, with Lopetegui's teams, they're usually defensively really solid and try and play on a counter-attack, where Qatar have come out, and when you come out, you're getting exposed by Switzerland's quality in that final third.
Well, breaking down Switzerland might be hard. They were one of only 2 teams never to trail at any point during their qualification in Europe. Switzerland and one other team from Europe. Who was the other, Clinton? There's your quiz question.
Say that again. What did you say? They didn't.
One of only 2 teams not to have trailed at any point in their qualifiers in the UEFA category. Can see the
it's
cogs
a European
whirring.
team, isn't it?
Yeah. Can see the cogs whirring. I'll give you a clue. It wasn't the Republic of Ireland.
No, because I definitely would have been out there if it was the Republic of Ireland in America. I'm trying to think of not France.
No. A little more obvious.
England.
England.
I knew you were going to say that. To be fair, yeah, they did dominate, didn't they, England?
The group was slightly easier, I think. It's not the most shocking stat.
But it's a good stat, though. It's a good stat.
Never to trail Switzerland. They're also part of the
I'm going to use
most
that
prolific. Keep that in your locker.
I'll keep that in the locker.
They're also part of the most prolific World Cup match, Switzerland as well. 7-5 defeat to Austria in 1954. It is the most goals ever in a World Cup match. Swiss fans in good voice.
I would have loved to commentate on that one, mate. We'd have loads of goals, wouldn't we?
They'll be happy with just the one
Exactly.
if it means 3 points here in San Francisco tonight. As the music keeps the fans pumped, yeah, certainly big smiles on the face of the Swiss fans. Many of them have come cladded in the traditional red, although their side today are playing in this green and grey number. So the hydration break is over, new instructions on board, and the players have to reset for the corner that they were about to set themselves up for. So it is a corner to Switzerland, left-hand side, a result of a Rubin Vargas free kick that was headed behind by Jabba. And Vargas has looked dangerous from set pieces on the left-hand side. He's got a wicked delivery. This one, though, goes in near the left-hand side of the 18-yard box. Play back to Vargas. Chance for Rodriguez to curl one in, but into the middle of the 6-yard box where nobody was on that occasion. And Abu Nada can clutch it chest height and will now have limited time to get rid of the ball. The referee just holds up his hands to indicate 5 seconds to go before you've got to get rid of it, which he does. Sends it long and forward, flicked on by Abdurisag, and straight on from his head into rather relaxed hands of Gregor Kobel, who's only had one thing to do in this game. Possession reads that 60% is in the Swiss favour so far. Qatar 0, Switzerland 1. 27 minutes have been played here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Akanji again swipes that one to his left-hand side for Rodriguez. He didn't look. Luckily, Qatar were too defensively set up to worry about that, but that's a couple of mistakes from Manuel Akanji.
Yeah, he's been sloppy, to be fair. It looks like he's got his boots on the wrong feet at the moment, and Akanji's always very comfortable in possession and such a good defender. I rate him highly, but he started the game really sloppy.
Well, Murat Yakin, the Swiss coach, calls him their rock at the back. Well, he's made more of perhaps sandstone than concrete at the minute, Manuel Akanji, given the couple of mistakes he's made. One nearly cost him, that one most recently did not. So it is a free kick here to Qatar for Elvedi completely not looking at the ball and taking down Abdurisag. That's also sloppy from Switzerland.
Yeah, it's a foul. He's complaining to the referee. He's not once tried to play the ball, he's just played the man.
So Pedro Miguel over this with his shaved head just on the line of the centre circle that arcs round from the far side of it. He clips it forward to Abdurisag, who's only small in height, but he's won a couple of headers. Didn't win that one, but it comes off a Swiss man last and prevents Qatar, or presents Qatar rather, with their first corner of the game. And they are good from set pieces. 41% of their goals in qualifying came from a set piece.
Yeah. Even though if he had left it, it would have been offside. Elvedi, you don't know that, though. You don't know that, so you have to deal with it. But yeah, this is a chance for Qatar. Got to put the ball in the right area. Hit. Please miss the first man.
Afif goes to the first man, but it is a Qatar player, so it's returned back to Akram Afif, who swings it in, and The looping header will go wide of the right-hand frame of the goal. It's a lie in there. There is a Qatar player down on his back who has taken a knock in all of that as well. So the medics are waved on. Didn't quite see what happened there. We'll get a replay of it here now, Clinton. It's Pedro Miguel. Has he been caught by his own teammate? He has, hasn't he?
That's the second time that Pedro Miguel collided with one of his own teammates. It didn't look too bad, so he must have caught him with his elbow in the back of his head, because from our angle where we're trying to see it, we don't see a lot of contact, but it's definitely his own teammate that's caught him.
Murat Yakin doesn't need to be concerned. The Swiss coach who's on our screens at the moment, white t-shirt on. It was a foul by Qatar's own man, so he doesn't have to worry about any VAR check for a flailing arm there. 49 caps for Switzerland in his day as well, Murat Yakin. Took his players to America last summer for preparation for this tournament, to get used to the heat. I know it's a year out, but it was sensible from the Swiss coach. Do we get another look at this? It's actually, there must be something from the training ground there, because what's happened is Hammam Ahmad was on the byline. He's raced back almost to get onside, and in doing so has flailed his arm out for Pedro Miguel, who was stooping to perhaps win a flick on from a header.
It's crazy because both players are not checking their shoulders or having a look, and they've run into each other. I can understand, but he sees him and he still runs into him.
Lopetegui is having some word with the fourth official. I think that's because, well, Pedro Miguel will have to go off. The rules are, if the medics come on, players have to go off for a minute. What I think Lopetegui might be saying is, well, that's my own man on my own man. It's not a foul.
And is that the same even if it's a head injury? Because I think that means, yeah, so because Lopetegui, I thought that was different with the head injury, but you're right, once the physios come on and you get treatment, it's a minute that you have to go off. I thought it was different for a head injury. That's what I thought Lopetegui was trying to say, but it's the right decision then.
And he's also been pointed to go off at the nearest
he's
exit,
come back on quicker.
Come straight back on,
yeah, he has come back on quicker. So maybe the referee got that wrong because it is a head injury.
Lopetegui's complaints worked.
Exactly.
Communicates to his Qatar side in English, he was saying as well. The Spanish manager, the second Spanish manager Qatar have had, Felix Sanchez, at the last World Cup. Then they rotated very quickly, got rid of Sanchez, brought in Tintin Marquez. He didn't last long, poor start to Asian qualifying. His assistant then took over before Lopetegui came in, and results have been mixed. They had a very poor Arab Cup in December. It's outside the FIFA window because a lot of Qatar players play in Qatar. They're able to recall on their first team as much, but they didn't get as far as they wanted, and were losing to countries who are having to play almost their B and C teams because they couldn't recall players who play in different leagues outside of the FIFA window. So he has some making up to do, Lopetegui, some names to perhaps impress in Qatar, and 1-0 down here against Switzerland. That's not changing anytime soon. We are past the half-hour stage. Qatar 0, Breel Mbolo's penalty means Switzerland lead by 1. Inside the centre circle, Elvedi, lovely drifting ball out towards the far side that is headed on by Vargas, but nobody to attack in the penalty area. The header wasn't quite angled well enough, and Abu Nada can catch comfortably inside his 18-yard box. The stats say it all. Clinton attempts at goal, Qatar 2, Switzerland 8.
Yeah, they've dominated Switzerland, but you expected that. But the one chance Qatar did have, I think it was the biggest chance in the game, and they didn't take it. They weren't ruthless enough, and that's what you got to be like that when you're playing against a good team like Switzerland.
Vargas again, left-hand side, squares himself up against Ayuba Louis, crossing from the corner of the penalty area. Keeper again comes out for it, but never looks convincing, commanding of his penalty area. It's headed away by one of his defenders in front of him. Now here's Dan Ndoye of Nottingham Forest, right corner of the penalty area. Qatar 0, Switzerland 1. Elvedi squares it, gets it back, has a look up into the penalty area all the time. He's got space in front of him and time as Ndoye tries to bend it left-footed, curl it into the far corner. That's blocked immediately by a defender. Abdurrazak cannot get forward himself to get Qatar on the counter-attack. Here is Xhaka, square pass in from the right-hand side. The short brown hair of Granit Xhaka, the leader, the midfield linchpin of this Swiss side, their captain as well, part of the Sunderland team that will be playing in Europe next season. Europa League, a 7th place finish on the final day. Scooped up out towards the left. Here's an opportunity again for Switzerland to build. Rodriguez, bright pink boots strapped to his feet. Another man with similar boots in Akanji. So has Elvedi, who from 20 yards looked like he was always lining up the shot, but the ball kept squirming away from him on the right-hand side of the penalty area. Switzerland now have kept the ball in motion, rotated it and reset and gone again, as Qatar are certainly mentally stretched in this game, having to be switched on for those late runs down the middle like this from Mbolo, who now tries to backheel it into the path of Ndoye. Slices it wide of the right-hand post, goes well wide of the goal in the end, looks for a deflection. Sip of water for the head coach, but patience prevailed there for Switzerland.
Yeah, with Dan Ndoye, it always looks like he plays at 100 miles an hour. Sometimes he has to slow down. We know he's a talented individual, but it's good play again from Switzerland. As you said, Mike, nice and patient into Ebola. And when he gets into that into the box, he's so strong you can't touch him. It's a great little back heel, but he rushes the shot, Dan Ndoye.
I think they know, Switzerland, if this doesn't work out first time for them in whatever the game plan is, they can just send the ball back to halfway line, restart, because Qatar aren't pressing them too high up the pitch. They've got time to think about the ball. They're standing off, crossing from Zakaria on the right, and it needs a Louis to send behind. Referee says there's a foul on Pedro Miguel in racing for that ball from the cross from Zakaria, and that will be a free kick to Qatar.
Yeah, I think Miguel, he gets caught by Mbolo. He just catches him. He doesn't mean to catch him, but his foot just clips his ankles. And once you feel contact and you're going towards your own goal, you're going to go down, especially when your team are having to defend. Despite
the innocent appeals of Breel Mbolo, it is a free kick to Qatar. Yeah, both looking for the ball, both running in towards that near post, and as you say, just an unfortunate clipping of the heels.
Yeah, and Mbolo's been a threat though up front. He has been a threat. He hasn't seen a lot of the ball, but when he has seen it, you can see why he's a handful.
And his penalty is the difference. You can rewind for that on BBC Sounds if you missed it in and around the 17-minute mark. We kicked off at 8 o'clock UK time, midday in San Francisco. Brazil-Morocco kicks off at 11 o'clock UK time. As Switzerland come forward again, Rodriguez out towards Vargas. Again, the change of pace, gets it to the byline, crosses it in, headed before it gets to Mbolo. Freuler clips it up. Now the decision has been made by the referee that it is a goal kick. Took his time on that. Did look like it might have gone out of play from Vargas on the turn of pace, but the referee took his time over that.
Yeah, he did take his time. And yeah, the ball was out.
So, good decision made. And is the Swiss fans making the noise. Some Turkish fans in there as well. There's a man with a turkey top on. And is the Mexican wave in San Francisco that is making its way around the Bay Area Stadium. Levi Stadium, to those who watch the NFL on a regular basis, it hosted Super Bowl 60. Fan of the Mexican wave?
I don't mind it, and to be fair, the only sometimes you do it is when the game's boring. This game's not boring, so people are just having fun. John Murray was doing it the other night at the Mexico game, so I heard.
I think you're allowed in Mexico.
Exactly, you're allowed to do that. He was doing it at the game.
Rodriguez, left-hand side. It is a double deflection on his cross just outside the penalty area. That means it will be a goal kick to Qatar. 7 minutes or so to half-time. Lopetegui gesticulating on the edge of his technical area, almost closing his hands together like he's doing some sort of chest press without the weights. What's he trying to say to his team, do you think, Clinton?
Keep it nice and compact and tight, just till half-time. Going in at 1-0 down, we're basically still in this game. We can do better in the second half.
Might get a little bit for them there, but a little bit of a juggling act with the ball for Abdurrassaq means the play turns over. Kobel's got to race back out into his penalty area here. Stamps the ball out for a throw. It wasn't the best pass back from Switzerland there, but then Qatar from the throw-in, a little bit sloppy. One throw-in turns into another, as Madibo was caught in possession. But the last touch was a Swiss one, so it does mean that they get the throw-in back. They've worked it back into their own half. Pedro Miguel started as a striker, now fits in the defence. His coach is a youngster, called him Roro. There's a combination between Romario and Ronaldo.
Wow.
Some height to live up to, though.
Yeah, I was about to say, between the two of the best that's ever done it, and two brilliant strikers. Wow,
Scored their second goal in the win over the United Arab Emirates that sealed qualification as well, did Pedro Miguel. A little bit of strapping is loose on the pitch, but the ball is away from that. It's right in the middle of the Qatar half. Here's Elvedi, Xhaka, Rodriguez in support left-hand side, plays it once over towards the touchline for Vargas, hasn't got the room to send in the cross there. Here is Akanji, right-footed, plays the reverse pass into the corner of the penalty area. Vargas is wriggling away and then lost the ball and pulled down his man. That's giving Qatar a free kick. They've rushed that. I think they've given the ball away. They have. Zakaria. That's got to be better from Qatar. You can't be doing that. Calm the play down. They rushed that, maybe feeling they could get on the counter-attack, but it didn't work well enough. Here is Dan Ndoye moving in from the right touchline, corner of the penalty area. Can't slide his pass in towards Abisher, I think it is. Now Xhaka. Zakaria, a couple of touches for him, then he just plays it 10 yards further back down the line. Here's Elvedi. Switzerland in control, in possession, and again just allowed this little space 10 yards outside the penalty area so to control the ball, assess their options. And Qatar have a line of 6 on the edge of their own penalty area, so it is tough for the Swiss to break down, but it is more than comfortable for the side that lead by a goal to nil 5 minutes out from half-time on BBC Radio 5 Live. Here is Abisher from the right. Now they're playing their chance, and Abu Nada has to push the ball behind for a corner at the near post. Couldn't take the risk that that might just creep in. Yeah,
Abisher on the right-hand side. He's popped up everywhere. He hasn't really played on the right, but he's trying to whip it into that far corner, and it's a good save. He has to cover it at the near post. I don't think that's the cross he intended to, but good goalkeeping.
Goalkeeper at fault for the penalty that Switzerland scored from. It is the crosses where I would be targeting with him. He looks unsettled. He doesn't know whether to come or stay, and when he does come out, can't really say he's been near the ball. That one was too close to him. Vargas is right-footed out swinging. Corner is met on the volley, just on the penalty spot, but blocked by too many maroon shirts in the way. It was Embolo having a swipe at the ball. And as Qatar try and counter-attack, they've fouled Abdurrassaq, and it is Zakaria into the book to stop that counter-attack.
Yeah, I think he has to. He doesn't have to, because Embolo's getting back at him, but yeah, I think once you got someone that's ahead of you, it's a yellow card, and they just build up, because if you get another one, you'll miss the next game. Not in this game, but like the third game, so he just has to be a bit careful now.
This is his first start, Dennis Zakaria, at World Cup. It is his third World Cup tournament, but he's only made 2 previous appearances from the bench for Switzerland. He has had an impressive season for Monaco, it has to be said. More work to do at the back, though, for Kerbal. Talk about Abu Nada at one end not looking too comfortable. That's a couple of mistakes from Kerbal. Oh, okay, he's under pressure. His teammates haven't put him in the best situation, but he's smacked them straight out of play on the far side each time.
Yeah, and Kerbal, he's done well. He's made important big save, but he's not Sommer, is he? Sommer was very good with his feet.
Here's a chance. It is a swiping shot again from Ed Nielsen that needs the foot of Kerbal. Much more assured that time to clear it behind for a corner. Ed Nielsen in a promising situation once again in this game. The chances are rare, but they're better. Yeah,
he's unlucky, Ed Nielsen, because he's going the other wrong way, Kerbal. He doesn't hit it cleanly enough, though. It doesn't hit it cleanly enough. And it's a good save, though. It's a really good save. But they're creating half chances, Qatar, for sure.
So Ed Nielsen with the 2 best chances for his side. Akram Afif is having a stern word with the linesman on that far side.
Yeah, he's saying it's on the line. Afif's saying it's on the line. He's arguing with him.
Yeah, he's trying to overrule the linesman here. The referee might want to come over and have a look at this himself. Of course, it is all about the full curve of the ball, and at least part of that curve has to be on the line, but the official, our Mexican officials and Honduran officials aren't too impressed. Outswinging delivery, looking for the head of Issa Lai on that occasion. Doesn't work. Switzerland are able to clear it away from the corner of Akram Afif. Picked up by Louis, who swipes it long, and that will just bounce comfortably into the penalty area for Gregor Kerbal.
Yeah, Kerbal's, as I said, made 2 important saves. You think about like Switzerland dominating possession. Qatar have had 2 really good opportunities where you're thinking if they had been a bit more ruthless, they might have been going in at half-time, you know, 2-1 up.
Certainly got both key efforts on target, haven't they? As Dan Ndoye now on the left-hand side, has been mostly on the right. Step overs from him as he goes up against the Louis, forces away past Jabber, gets the cross in that flies up towards the byline. His ball has stopped dead on the byline in a combination of Ndoye and another Qatar defender. Qatar able to clear it. Afif fouled by Rodriguez. Free kick Qatar inside their own half.
Yeah, Rodriguez just tries to go in there. Afif does well. He knows the contact's coming. As soon as he feels contact, he goes down. Gets an important free kick for his team.
Patrick in the 2023 Asian Cup final for Afif that won the tournament for Qatar over Jordan. Qatar and Jordan, 2 of 8 Arab teams that are competing in this expanded World Cup, the 48-team format. Still 4 in each group. Canada and Bosnia, the 2 that join Qatar and Switzerland in Group B. All of Scotland's group played tonight. Brazil, Morocco, followed by Scotland, Haiti. Both games on BBC Radio 5 Live. As the added time goes up, I actually missed the announcement. Here comes Rodriguez, 6 minutes added time. Abisher takes over, predominantly on the right. Now he's got to play in a low left-footed cross, and then the swiping shot from Ndoye, was it? Takes on the shot. Saved by the goalkeeper. Switzerland can't find their second.
Yeah, it's good play down that left-hand side, and Ndoye, he's been effective on that since he's gone to that left-hand side. He comes in as a shot, and it's another good save.
Second most expensive Swiss player, Dan Ndoye, behind Granit Xhaka, when he cost Nottingham Forest £35 million last summer, and Bolo tries to force a way through in the middle of the penalty area. He can't. Ball comes back to Granit Xhaka, and Bolo quickly trying to get back in and races towards the goal in a battle with the goalkeeper. And for the first time in this game, Abu Nada actually makes a really good save coming off his goal line, jumps in the air, catches the ball. Yeah,
it's good from Abu Nada because it's a good ball from Xhaka, a good run from Mbolo, and that's what he wants. You know, Xhaka's got the quality, but it's good goalkeeping.
We get another look at Ndoye's half volley, perfectly cleanly hit with the laces across goal, but Abu Nada equal to it. Qatar 0, Switzerland 1.
Yeah, Abu Nada's actually, I know he gave away the penalty and it was a bit of a rash decision, but he's had a decent first half.
When he's made a save, they've been good.
Yeah, they've been good.
Still not convinced by him coming out off his line.
No. He's a good shot stopper, but I'm not sure. You're right. I'm not sure about him when he tries to come for a cross.
Long ball played out towards this near side, controlled well, but then heavy touch. Oh, the first touch looked good, and it ran towards the byline. Now it's a goal kick to Switzerland. It was Hammam Ahmed getting forward, the left back, finding the space, and he had acres of it. Just the touch had to be better. It's heavy off his boot and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, Ahmed makes a brilliant run, and that's where Qatar have struggled. Either their final pass, final touch, final cross shot hasn't been good enough, and that's where they're lacking in quality in that final third. But they got to keep believing, because at 1-0 they're still in this game.
Suddenly in the last 5 minutes or so, it's been fairly equal in terms of chances for both sides, but still 1-0 to Switzerland. Now, Mbolo penalty is the difference. If you take away the penalty, Switzerland haven't been able to unlock this side from open play, although maybe Mbolo lays it back, near post shot from Vargas. Side netting, edge of the 6-yard box, slight angle on the right-hand side, couldn't find the back of the net.
And Mbolo, when he's got you pinned in the box, you can't touch him. It's a good ball into the box, he just pins the defender, a little flick, and Vargas, I think they want a corner, a slight deflection, but he should be doing better than that. In the end, yeah, it is a corner, so it's a good defending, or it's a good save, but good play from Mbolo.
Goalkeeper split his legs open, didn't he? Abu Nada. So a chance for Switzerland at the end of this first half. 3 additional minutes have gone of the 6 that we were shown. Vargas, having just had the shot, will now turn provider. Right-footed out-swinging corner into a crowd of players. Where's it going? Hooked away brilliantly by Pedro Miguel. Almost bicycle kick inside the 6-yard box to get rid of it. That could have pinballed anywhere. Yeah, Miguel, he's been in the wars and he's had to defend ever so well. Pedro Miguel at the back for Qatar in this first half. And this, yeah, the save, it is another good save, to be fair. It's a really good save watching the replay. The way he spreads his legs. Could have caused himself a lot of damage there, but he does ever so well. What a save that is, by the way. That's what warm-ups are for.
Definitely. I couldn't do that at my age now. I'd be out for about 6 months.
Don't think I've ever been able to do it at any age. 1-0 Switzerland. Free kick to Qatar. as we hit the 4th minute of stoppage time elapsed. So a couple of minutes to go. Strong header from Akanji back towards the halfway line. Forward again by Qatar, hooked away by Rodriguez into the centre circle. It goes for Kuki, the captain. He's been with Al Sadd for almost 9 years. League winner this season. Arcing ball, switching sides, out towards the right, looking for a Fief, comes off the head of Dan and Doy, who was recovering back there. And it has given Qatar a corner on the far side towards the end of this first half. I hope that's the sun shining on the floodlights at the top of the stadium that we could see there. And it isn't actually the floodlights on, because there is zero need for those floodlights to be on in the baking heat of San Francisco. The whole pitch bathed in sunshine. It is going to be hot out there. Corner comes in, headed away by Elvedi. Drops to Ahmed. And Qatar choose to play it back to their goalkeeper. Safety first, the route. Abu Nada is just outside the D, cladded all in yellow, the Qatar goalkeeper. Left-footed, long ball out towards this near side. Ball spins away towards Abdurrassaq. And then Pedro Miguel will just mop it up inside his own half and go back to the goalkeeper again. Abisha will apply the pressure, right-footed this time from the goalkeeper. Drops into the centre circle for Manuel Akanji. Here is Elvedi into the final minute of the 6 that was shown. Zakaria, the only Swiss player on a yellow card. 2 out there when they come back out for the second 45 for Qatar. Rodriguez, lovely slip ball in here on the left-hand side, might still run from a bolo. Oh, goalkeeper tangles with his own man, and off the line it goes. The shot from Abisha, right down the middle of the goal. There are a couple of defenders back there for Qatar. Abdurrassaq tying himself all over the place again, colliding with a teammate, but his teammates eventually are the ones that help him out.
Yeah, Abisha, listen, he makes the contact, but Mbolo again is the one who's causing all kind of problems, but good clearance off the line.
So Switzerland 1-0 up at the break as the half-time whistle goes. It's the Briel Mbolo penalty that is the difference. Sent the goalkeeper the wrong way as he slid it into the bottom left-hand corner. Whole host of chances for Switzerland in this game. Some good shot stopping from Mahmoud Abu Nada, the Qatar goalkeeper, but at the other end the chances have been few for Qatar, but arguably better than some of the ones Switzerland had created. Both have fallen to Ed Nielsen and both have been saved by the legs of Gregor Kobel.
Yeah, it's been a good first half, and credit to Qatar, because when they go 1-0 down, you're thinking they could fold, but they didn't fold. They stayed in it, they've created a few chances, and they're still in this game. If Switzerland get the second goal, it's game over, but while it's 1-0, they still got to keep believing in themselves.
So perhaps the shock isn't on in terms of who was expected to win this game, but Qatar still within a chance to get back in and take something from the match. At the break, Qatar 0, Switzerland 1, Aaron.
Clinton, Mike, thank you so much. I'll tell you what, it's worth having a look back at the incident involving Remo Freuler and the goalkeeper that led to the penalty being awarded. VAR judging that Freuler wasn't offside. Patrick and Preston has messaged to BBC this evening saying that needs explaining. It's about a yard offside. Show in London, baffled of what I've just seen, was definitely offside. There is so much opinion floating around on social media. A lot of people believing that maybe the camera angle's offering a bit of an optical illusion there. Mike, I mean, either way, Switzerland a goal up, but it hasn't been comfy.
Not at all. Largely they've had the bulk of the ball. They've obviously had the more chances, but it's the Qatar moments, and that's the difference, isn't it, in quality. This is where in terms of FIFA rankings, why they are different ends of the scale at this World Cup, as I guess, in that Switzerland have finished their one chance okay, albeit from the penalty spot, but have looked dangerous. Qatar have had 2 major chances, both to Ed Nielsen, and on both times just needs a little bit more of an angle from his shooting ability to get that round. Gregor Kobel, who saved both shots with his legs, but I guess the Qatar argument at half-time maybe here, Clinton, is actually without that penalty, this is 0-0.
Yeah, and looking back at the replay, what we've got in front of us, I said it during commentary, I knew I shouldn't second-guess myself. He's offside, Freuler. And you know what?
It's a striker's intuition, Clinton.
Yeah, because I used to always be offside, and my managers and everyone would be moaning at me. So I knew he was offside. He'd gone too early. But as what I don't want us to talk about is refereeing and VAR. But this is going to be, if it stays at 1-0, Qatar will be disappointed. If it goes goes 2 or 3-0, I understand it, but that is offside. He's
the
gone
angle we
earlier.
see.
The angle we've got, and I said it as his knee or his boot, it looks like he's offside, so I can understand everyone complaining about it. I hope they've drawn the line straight and not drawn the lines out. I used to do it at school.
The question is, I mean, is it the TV camera angle
Maybe
that makes it look
Yeah,
offside?
it's
we
good,
haven't
'cause they've
seen
got
the lines. The lines weren't drawn on screen.
They've got the better offside technology than we have, haven't they? The
Exactly.
semi-automated, the AI infrastructure that they have now in FIFA for this World Cup, that they will possibly have better than what we can see. The camera is just off centre, maybe just to the left-hand side on the still image we've got. Whether it's Pedro Miguel's right boot that might be keeping the body of Freuler onside in his chest, but again, it's all about angles, isn't it? We saw it with the corner, and Akram Afif arguing whether his ball was on the line ready to take a corner. The referee had to come over and assess it. So it is all about angles, and that's where I would possibly trust VAR.
Yeah, I agree.
A little more than what we've seen.
Great stat flying out of Opta this evening. Breel Mbolo's opener from the spot against Qatar was not only the first penalty of this World Cup, but was Switzerland's first ever penalty at a World Cup, excluding shootouts. Great stuff there. Mike Clinton, thank you so much for the moment. Back with you for second half action in a moment or so. Coming up, though, we'll be in New Jersey to see how Dion Dublin and Ian Dennis are feeling ahead of Brazil against Morocco. That's after the latest news here on 5 Live with Richard Foster.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The voice of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Thanks, Aaron. President Trump says a peace deal with Iran will be signed tomorrow and the Strait of Hormuz will reopen immediately afterwards. Iran's foreign ministry previously said any agreement wouldn't be signed on Sunday, but President Trump also claims no money will be given to Tehran. Resident doctors in England have called off strike action, which was due to start on Monday. The British Medical Association says it's after the government made a new offer which will be put to its members. Ian Russell, whose daughter Molly took her own life after viewing harmful content online, has told the BBC he's dismayed by reports that the government's going to ban young people from using some online social platforms. He's calling for stronger regulations on the sector instead. And an investigation's begun into claims that a police officer used artificial intelligence to create what's been described as evidential material. Derbyshire Police say the allegations concern a number of cases. An officer has been removed from frontline duties.
Throughout the World Cup, 5 Live Breakfast is coming to you live from the USA.
This is huge for the United States. We have the World Cup here, biggest sporting event in the world.
I don't need to buy diamonds, but my wife is 7 months pregnant, so I'm negotiating my own terms.
Go now. Let's bring it home, US, baby.
The rest of the world is not ready to see what USA has in store. So yeah, they're in for a treat now.
5 Live Breakfast.
Ask your smart speaker.
Play BBC Radio 5 Live.
This is 5 Live Sports.
At the FIFA World Cup 2026.
With Aaron Paul.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Yeah, half-time in this Group B game. It's Qatar 0, Switzerland 1. Breel Mbolo scoring from the penalty spot to put the Swiss 1-0 up in San Francisco. We'll be back with our commentary team of Mike Minor and Clinton Morrison in a moment or so. But first up, some other sport headlines for you this evening. Emma Raducanu has made it to her first ever grass court final after beating Iva Jovic in straight sets at Queen's. The British number one will play Donna Vekic tomorrow. And the Women's T20 World Cup, the West Indies are 68 for 1 in the 10th over, chasing 163 to win against New Zealand in Southampton. Meanwhile, it's an all-British front row for the Barcelona Catalunya Grand Prix. George Russell on pole with Lewis Hamilton qualifying in second. Commentary of that one tomorrow on 5 Live from 2 o'clock. And Exeter will play Northampton in Rugby Union's Premiership final at Twickenham. The Chiefs beat Bath 27-26 in today's thrilling second semi-final. Now, of course, tonight 5 Live brings you Scotland against Haiti. We'll catch up with Ian Dennis and Dion Dublin in a moment or so. But after 28 years, Scotland are back on the World Cup stage, and manager Steve Clarke is hoping this one will prove better.
Not really sure how to expand on. I didn't enjoy the last two tournaments. It's pretty straightforward. I just didn't enjoy them. First one was COVID affected. It didn't feel, even going to Wembley, I know we put on a really good performance, got a 0-0 draw, but the stadium was not many people in the stadium. Didn't feel like a major tournament. The Germany one was obviously disappointing because of the way we started the tournament, more than the other two games, if I'm being honest. We let ourselves down, and then you've got that bad feeling hanging over you all tournament. This one's third tournament. Hopefully we've learned from experience. It's also 28 years since Scotland have been at a World Cup, and I think the fact that we're here, anybody you speak to supporter-wise tells you that they're grateful that the team has brought them out here. And I'm the same. I'm grateful that my team has brought me here. Or we know it's going to be a difficult game. First time in 28 years that we've been there. I think first time for Haiti since 1974. They're also a proud nation. They're going to be here 100% committed, the same as we are. And we know that they have qualities that can cause us problems on the pitch. So we have to deal with those problems, and then we have to try and bring our best game to the pitch when we have the ball. And if we can do that, then hopefully that's enough to win the game. Team selection is always difficult. It's always a tough one when you've got to leave 3 or 4 players out who have played a big part in getting us to the tournament. But as I said quite early on, it's going to be a squad World Cup. The starting team is important. I think you'll find in a lot of games the team that finishes is every bit as important, if not even more important. So the lads know that. It's been explained to them what we're going to do and how we're going to utilise the squad.
Full commentary from Boston of Scotland against Haiti to come at 2 a.m. here on 5 Live. You'll also be able to watch on BBC One and the iPlayer. Loads more build-up to come between now and then. We'll also pay our first visit to the stadium at half-time in the match between Brazil and Morocco. That's our next commentary in Dennis, and Dion Dublin are our team in New Jersey. Afternoon, both. How are we?
Very well, Aaron. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. The last time I was at the MetLife Stadium, it was absolutely teeming down with rain, and I felt I was closer to the clouds than the ground. Are you in a similar position?
Well, we're close to the clouds, but there are a number of white fluffy ones at the moment, but a lot of blue sky. The sun is shining. It's about 32 degrees. The heat pitch level would be really, really intense for these players. But if you've been here, you know what it's like, Aaron, with the 3 tiers, the cavernous bowl-like arena. There's a load of yellow shirts outside. The Brazilian fans are here, the red of Morocco. It's going to be some atmosphere. It's a sellout crowd for what I think is the best game of the entire group stages. It's the only one of the group stages that has 2 teams that are currently ranked inside the top 10.
Absolutely, proper mouth-watering opener to Group C. Dion, what are your thoughts ahead of this? Obviously, a change of manager for Morocco. Walid Regragui, who's brought so much success to the nation and to that part of North Africa, leaving his role. And Mohamed Wabi, who came in from the under-20 setup, coming in, he said he wants to change the face of Moroccan football, but also he wants to change a style as well. He wants to go front-footed and to attack. That could be a risk, though, against Brazil and at a tournament like this.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's possibly not the tournament to change everything so soon, especially in this competition against this opposition as well, because you know what they can do going forward. They're incredibly strong players. The 6 forward-thinking players for Brazil can all score goals as well. So, yeah, possibly a little bit dangerous to do that, but I mean, what do you have to change about Morocco? It's not as if they haven't been successful. They've been doing very well over the last 2 or 3 years. So let's leave them be. Just tweak it if you need to.
How's it been hanging around with Ian Dennis?
Well, as people know, it's really tough being around Ian Dennis. You know, he's normally the life of the soul. He's been quite quiet this time. Stayed in a lot. I've had to go out on my own table for one. All he's been doing is his prep in his bedroom. And if you can believe that, my nose is growing.
Ian, happy with the road trip so far?
Yeah, it's been a bit weird, really, because I've been in America for nearly 2 weeks now, but a lot of it was down with England during the pre-World Cup plans in Tampa and Orlando and West Palm Beach, and then all of a sudden you get a completely different vibe when you come to New York and New Jersey. I've got to say, the place is... I was reading the other day, Aaron, that 1.2 million people will visit New York, New Jersey during the entirety of this World Cup. But it's not just the atmosphere that is building because of the World Cup. This is the first of 8 games that are going to be played in this stadium, because the New York Knicks could win their first NBA title in 53 years. And Dion said he was out the other night when they were playing. They staged that incredible comeback against the San Antonio Spurs, the biggest comeback in NBA history. They're playing tonight at 8:30.
Yeah,
so this is a 6 o'clock kickoff, and then they're underway at 8:30. And I think that New York will go absolutely mad when you consider that there is so many Brazilians and Moroccans in town as well, with the New York Knicks fans who could be celebrating wildly.
You've also got the Stanley Cup as well that's going on, the ice hockey as well, so that's coming to a conclusion. So many sporting fans in New York and in New Jersey, and yeah, it's a very noisy place at the moment, all for the right reasons.
Last year they were using Times Square, sort of the area around Times Square and around the Empire State Building to come together and have sort of mini street parties. If the Knicks are successful,
exactly
then
that.
It's going to
fan
be
viewings, Aaron, you're absolutely spot on. There's fan viewings everywhere.
Yeah.
Times Square is incredibly busy. The area in and around Madison Square Garden as well has all been kind of, I don't know, roped off, so to speak, so you can't get anywhere near the stadium unless you've got a ticket for the game. Ticket prices for the games have just gone crazy, so until you come to New York, you know, yes, there's a World Cup going on, but there's more people worried about the Knicks than there are the World Cup here in New York City.
Absolutely, plenty of Samba flair on show tonight. Looking forward to it. Ian and Dion, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Senior football reporter Ian Dennis and Dion Dublin, who will bring you full match commentary of Brazil against Morocco from the MetLife Stadium, New Jersey. Of course, I'm sure there'll be a look over the NBA as well. The New York Knicks taking on the Spurs. That one tipping off at 1:30 in the morning. No doubt you'll be staying with us for Haiti versus Scotland live from Foxborough in Boston as well. That one kicking off at 2 o'clock. You can watch the coverage on the iPlayer starting from 1:10. And then 5 o'clock, Australia versus Turkey. We are back though to Group B, and for the second half of Qatar versus Switzerland. Yulan Lopetegui said he didn't want to just come and make up the numbers here. His side are behind at half-time. Mike Maine and Clinton Morrison.
Thank you, Aaron. As the players emerge from the corner of the Bay Area Stadium, they have a German phrase in Switzerland, which is the appetite comes from the eating. It basically means you enjoy the tournament when you get into it. I asked a Swiss journalist whether there's a feeling in Switzerland of excitement around the World Cup. He said no, the appetite comes from the eating. Clinton Morrison with them sweets, how's your appetite?
Yeah, my appetite's really good. I do love my sweets, and yeah, I do love them, and the sweets are really good, but my appetite is very good. It's going to help me get through the second half.
I think it is. It's a good expression, isn't it? The appetite comes from the eating. The World Cup certainly feels like it's here now.
Yep.
Sunshine of San Francisco. Switzerland leading by 1-0. They have won or rather unbeaten in their last 6 opening matches at a World Cup. 1-3, drawn 3. Last time they lost at their opening game at a World Cup was 1966 against West Germany, 5-0. We all know what happened that year. They're getting ready for the second half. It is Briolambolo's penalty that is the difference between the two sides. That came after round about quarter of an hour into the game. You can listen back if you missed it on BBC Sounds how the penalty happened and perhaps some of the controversy around it. We discussed that at half-time as well. Was Freuler offside? From one angle maybe, but VAR's got all the technology behind it. As we go for the second half then, no changes at the break. Qatar from kick-off have gone rugby style and belted that up one end of the field and out of play for a Swiss throw in the corner.
I see, you know who does that? PSG do that. And also, you know who did it the other day? Arsenal did it. So it's definitely getting on. Everyone's starting to copy.
So PSG do it. Qatari-owned PSG.
Yes.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's just a thing they staple in Qatar. That's the rules from kick-off. But Qatar get us underway. They're in their maroon kit. The shirts, shorts and socks to match. A little bit of white piping on the top of the shoulders on the Qatar shirts. They're now left to right in the second half. And Switzerland in their grey and green combination shirts, the grey shorts, the grey socks, are from right to left. 2 Qatar players on a yellow card. Run you through the 2 teams when we get a chance to do so. One of which is the goalkeeper. The other is Jassim Jabba. And it is Denis Zakaria of Switzerland that is on the yellow card for the European side. Switzerland leading by 1-0. And very much as you were from the first half into the second. The Swiss looking comfortable on the ball, allowed to have the possession, certainly up to the edge of the Qatar defensive third. Then a slight press ensues. just wondering how much, because the sun is all over the pitch. There is no shade, there is no respite in San Francisco on this pitch. How much energy conservation is going on at times from these two teams?
Yeah, even more so for Qatar when you're not got hold of the ball. When you've got the ball, somehow you have some energy and it keeps you going.
Vargas plays the 1-2 with Freuler, who is held back, and that has given a free kick to Switzerland just outside the penalty area. Can't say I saw the biggest shirt pull there, but...
No, I just feel Vargas, as soon as he always gets contact, he wants to go down. As soon as he feels a bit of contact, he wants to go down. But what you were just alluding to, Mike, about the heat, and I do think there will be a lot of substitutions. I think you've got to, capitalise on your squad, especially in these kind of conditions as well.
Sam Bernardo's in goal for Qatar. Louis Miguel, Kuki and Ahmed. The back line, Jabba and Isalai hold the midfield, and Milson, who's had a couple of chances in the first half, with Madibo and Afif behind Yusuf. That's the Yusuf Abdurrasaq. That is the Qatar side. We'll go through Switzerland in just a moment. Vargas over this free kick. He's been their set-piece man in the first half. That'll continue into the second. Out on this near left-hand side. Curled in. Goalkeeper comes out again. Off the head of Elvedi, and then off the head, I think, of Abdurrasaq. Was he in there as well? Going to look at the replay here. Yeah, it is a double deflection, isn't it? Firstly off Elvedi's head, and then off that of the captain Kuki. So corner to Switzerland, near side the left. Vargas the man to take. No surprise there by the entrance of the tunnel where the players walk out from. Near side the left, in swinging delivery towards the back post. Goalkeeper double-fisted punch out towards the far side. Ball bounces along the byline and out for another Switzerland corner.
Yeah, goalkeepers have a thing of, I know he's under a bit of pressure, but can they catch it? They love punching it. It frustrates me when you're playing and goalkeepers punch it. I always think to my goalie, can you come and claim it? I understand sometimes you're under pressure, you have to punch it.
It's 1-0 Switzerland, nearly 4 minutes gone in the second half. Vargas now from the right-hand side, so this will be an out-swinging right-footed delivery. Manuel Akanji steadies himself, ready to make that run at the right time, and it goes towards Akanji, away by the head of Kuki, back out to Vargas, far side the right, long-range shot, it's drilled in and fired over the bar, always rising from Granit Xhaka. The Switzerland captain fancied a little go from 30 yards there, he hit that with venom, always rising. Did the goalkeeper get a nick on his gloves? Has the referee seen that?
Referee hasn't seen it, but we've seen it after the replay, because it's a brilliant save. It's a good strike from Xhaka, a really good save. It should have been a corner. And
what FIFA can do at this tournament, what VAR can do, is change a corner to a goal kick, but it can't change a goal kick to a corner. It has time, very short space window to review a corner kick given, not a goal kick, and Switzerland might there just hope it was the other way around, but it is not. And the idea of that is that FIFA do not want a goal scored from an incorrect corner decision, which makes sense, but yep, they should have had a corner there. It is the fine skin of the glove of Abu Nada that has seen that over the bar. Referee missed it. Vargas, lovely skill, flicks it round the corner, left-hand side, just steadies the ball before the byline. Right-footed cross, doesn't come off, blocked by Jabba. Now flicked onto Freuler, corner of the penalty area, arcing ball in, round the back, might come to Ndoye here, bounces off his thighs, he got the angle to shoot, takes the shot on, and the referee has another decision to make. Ndoye has pointed for the corner. Dangerous ball in by Freuler.
Yeah, good ball in from Freuler, and Dan Ndoye's first touch takes him back, and then he tries to roll Ahmed, and I think he slips, and once he slips there, when he gets his shot away, it hits his standing foot and goes out for a goal kick.
Yeah, I think goal kick's the right decision. It certainly has been given that way. So had that been given for a corner, that is what VAR can review, and they would have overturned that and given it as a goal kick to Qatar, who trailed by a goal to nil nearly 6 minutes into the second half. BBC Radio 5 Live, and Bolo trying to pounce on a pass back that wasn't exactly the quickest of pace from Qatar. Done enough to put Switzerland off for now, but here they come with Akanji just strolling forward deeper inside the Qatari half, midway point, and then he flicks it out towards the right-hand side for Abisha, and Ndoye plays the 1-2, can't get it back to Abisha convincingly, and Qatar are able to play it out towards the far side touchline, but then trap themselves with a couple of Swiss players on them, and in the recovery, that's going to be a free kick, bundled into the back of Ndoye, did Edmilson. And that's a free kick to Switzerland.
Yeah, they can't get out at the moment, Qatar. They're trying to play out from the back, but Switzerland are pressing ever so high. And as I said, it probably get to the 65th minute, and you see a few substitutions as well.
Well, among the Asian teams to have played 10 or more games in qualifying, Qatar's matches featured the highest average goals, 3.61 per game. We have just the one so far, but Switzerland looking to change that. Qatar trailing by a 0-0. Rodriguez over this free kick. It won't be Vargas on duty for that. Bright pink boots strapped to the feet of Rodriguez. Everybody back inside the 18-yard box for the maroon shirts of Qatar. And Doy would make the run to the near post, you would think, here for Switzerland. Zakaria is in there as well. Akanji too. They've both got height. In towards Akanji, tries to flick it on. That's off a Qatari man last in the form of a Louis. And so a free kick turns into a corner.
Yeah, it does. It's good balls into the box, but one thing, Qatar, they defend it ever so well. There's a lot of grappling the shirts in that box, but you got to do what you got to do to keep the ball out of your net.
It's worked for now. Well, they've got on the corner. Is the Swiss fans at that end that slowly rise to their feet to watch this corner from Rodriguez. In swinging delivery, player goes down on the edge of the 6-yard box in form of Embolo. Not too many appeals, and then Vargas allows that to run out for a throw-in on this near side, the Swiss left. Doy won't have too long to take this throw, and he holds the ball up in one hand. The Qatar fans bang their drums that they've been allowed to bring into the Bay Arena Stadium. Thrown in by Vargas, headed away from Qatar. And Bolo and Zakaria, with Nielsen also making himself a nuisance. That is bounced into the Swiss half on the clearance. Abdurrazzaq didn't really know how the bounce of the ball was going to go there. It was almost like he was watching like a rugby ball, like it could go anywhere, but never got it under control. And ball played back by Switzerland to the bright blue shirt of Gregor Kerbel, the Dortmund goalkeeper. Replaced Jan Sommer. It was after Euro 2024 that Sommer retired, along with Fabian Schär, along with Xherdan Shaqiri. And what the praise has been of the Swiss manager, the grey-haired Murat Yakin, is that he's transitioned this side well, that they haven't lost that momentum of some of their star players, and in fact there's been almost new heroes reborn.
Yeah, because they have lost a lot of good players, especially in them attacking areas and experience. I'm surprised about Fabian Schär, because I still feel, I know he's had a lot of injuries, but the partnership with Akanji at the back, I still think he could do a good job.
Still playing for Newcastle on a regular basis as well, Fabian Schär. 9 minutes gone in the second half. Switzerland lead by a 0-0. Switzerland with Kerbel in goal. We will have to get rid of that ball first time on the pass back. Right-footed, does up towards the halfway line. Zakaria, Akanji and Elvedi, the back three. Abisher, Freuler, Xhaka and Rodriguez in midfield. Vargas and Bolo and Ndoye the front three. Johan Manzambi is on the bench. Many would have favoured him to start tonight. The bright youngster, the 20-year-old from Freiburg, was Ian Dennis's pick for the youngster of the tournament.
Was it?
Having watched him at Freiburg and Aston Villa in the League Cup the Europa League final.
Yeah, I was going to make a joke there, but no, Deno does know what he's talking about, so I'd agree with him on that. So if he says it, I believe it is true. He's not here to defend himself, so I'm not going to get at him.
He might have a word later. He's on Brazil duty, I think, tonight.
Yeah, so he'd definitely be listening.
His right to reply comes later.
Yeah, definitely.
Bright talent is Johan Manzambi. Started both of their warm-ups. He is at Freiburg at the moment. There are rumours of PSG and Chelsea interest.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. He probably will come on, and yeah, he's got a lot of skill, hasn't he? He's an exciting player.
3 goals for his country in 12 games. As Switzerland have the possession right at the centre circle. Manuel Akanji again. It's just that lack of press early on from Qatar that allows Akanji to stride up to the halfway point of the Qatar half. He's played it out to the right-hand side with Zakaria. Now Abisher stood off from him as well. He's allowed to arc the ball in from that right-hand side, headed away by Pedro Miguel. Here's a Afif. And in terms of an attacking sense, apart from set pieces, we've seen nothing from Afif. The attacking press has come from Abdurrazzaq. The chances have come from Ed Nielsen. Here's Akanji again, this time inside his own half, right-footed, long ball that bends towards this near side of the pitch. Vargas will chase, prevents it going out for a goal kick, nudges it out for a throw-in instead with the side of his boot on this near side. The half-time break has really almost killed any atmosphere inside this stadium in San Francisco. This huge, almost steep three-tiered stand on the far side, lone stand on this near side. It sweeps round across the goals and behind onto that far side as well. Quite a menacing arena that can hold in and around 65,000 people. It's held big concerts as well. As Qatar get the ball to the centre circle, as they're playing out towards Afif on this near side. Stoppage in play because of an injury to Kuki, the captain, but you were shaking your head, Clinton, because they weren't able to make the counter-attack work.
Yeah, because they get the ball and they panic and they rush it. It is a foul. Danendoy does catch Kuki, but get up. There's nothing wrong with you. He catches you. Get on with it. I know you're trying to get players yellow carded, but it should have been a yellow card. But you're wasting your team's time. So get on with it. But they got to be better in possession. They do well to win the ball, and then they just give it back to Switzerland.
Well, here come the changes then. Double for Qatar. They are going to bring on Ahmed Fati and Karim Budaif in just a moment. They were ready, the board was ready, but then the referee has said no, it's a drop ball and we're off again. So no time to make the substitute. So we'll work out who they're for in a moment. We'll get to see the board in just a short while. Here's Elvedi for Switzerland. Jack has got his back to goal, plays it back to the edge of the centre circle for Elvedi, who now peels the ball out towards the right for Zakaria, tries to cross low in, blocked by the legs of Ahmed, and now with a little bit of pace, Abdurrazzaq gets up towards the halfway line. Afifa's made the run, but the little chip ball is stooped down on the header by Elvedi, and it's Switzerland who are able to turn the play over again. 13 minutes gone in the second half. They still lead by a goal to nil. The fans in this stadium need some action, some regular action to get behind. Ball in from Rodriguez, left-footed, curling low, in from the left-hand side of the penalty area. Again dealt with by the Qatar defence. Here is Rodriguez, left-footed, another similar curling ball. Hits the defender, hits Saib, and it goes behind for a corner kick. Now is the change for what will be time for a triple change. Not quite.
No, you never make a change on a corner. So that's what he was saying to the fourth official. Was getting ready, and one of the coaches said no chance. Could you take off someone who's doing the job and you can see he comes on there? No chance.
So Vargas set for the corner, raises a left arm in the air. That's the signal for perhaps what he's about to deliver. Right-footed, in-swinging on top of the goalkeeper. Another good punch away from Abu Nada. Referee feels the goalkeeper was impeded, and that will be a free kick. And now is the time for the triple change for Qatar. So it is going to see the end of the day for Ayoub Aloui, the right back. He's going to be replaced by Ahmed Fati, who was a regular feature in World Cup qualifiers. Also off is Jassim Jabba, perhaps no surprise, he's on a yellow card. Ahmed Aladdin is on in his place. Has never scored outside Asia for his country, but he's now got to do just that. Has there been a change to who they want? Abdurrazzaq is also coming off here, and he is going to be replaced by Karim Budaif as well, the midfield linchpin, who has been part of the Al Dalal setup for the last 15 years. His first international, Karim Budaif, and his first international goal came at Gresty Road, home of Crewe.
Yeah, I was sure that was.
In a 1-1 draw with Northern Ireland in a friendly.
Is replaced by number 7, Ahmed Aladdin.
So triple change for Qatar. Be interesting to see how that perhaps changes things.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see if they go more attacking or go. But it's just about fresh legs, Mike. I think when you bring in them three players in, you're losing the game. You hope they can give you a spot, because that's what they need at the moment, especially in the second half. They created more chances in the first half.
So they're in possession, but on the edge of their own penalty area at the moment. Qatar 0, Switzerland 1. Brazil-Morocco follows us. 11 o'clock kickoff from 2 a.m. Scotland against Haiti. And then that is followed by Australia getting their World Cup underway against Turkey from 5 o'clock. Football right through the night. So if you can't get to sleep and World Cup fever's gripped you, best way is to turn on BBC Radio 5 Live. All games on BBC Sounds for you.
That's what Mike's doing. He said he's staying up all night.
Once upon a time, I might have had it in me.
Yeah, me too.
But
Scotland game, and then I'm going to bed.
Sorry, Australia. Sorry, Turkey.
Exactly. I'll watch the highlights.
Yeah, you can do what I did the other morning. Missed the South Korea match, went to bed, but found it on BBC Sounds the next morning. Listen back to Lee and Clinton.
Hope it was enjoyable.
You called that one brilliantly. Czech Republic took the lead.
Yeah.
You said one team would come back. That's South Korea, and they did. Vargas goes down just outside the penalty area. Free kick, left-hand side for Switzerland. It's the tricky feet of Vargas again that Qatar can't handle.
Yeah, he reminds me of Okafor, the way he just goes past people. They're very similar. Vargas a bit smaller than him, but he's got great feet. He can just a quick step over. He's been really bright on the left-hand side, caused a lot of problems.
Okafor is on the bench for Switzerland, the Leeds United man coming back from a hamstring injury.
It looks hot over there. Just showing some of the fans and that, it does look hot over there. It looks brilliant. We'd love to be over there, but it does look hot.
It does. I don't know whether I want to be a fan sat in the baking heat with no option or a player running around in it. But
I think a fan sitting in instead of running around.
Certainly some flags waving behind that goal of a Qatari nature, but they've got some defending to do here. Vargas slides it to the edge of the box. Rodriguez curls it in low. No one can get the convincing shot. Elvedi was probably the man you didn't want there. The defender taking on the final effort. It's looped forward. It will drop here for Ndoye. The touch is heavy. Carries it out to the right-hand side of the penalty area. Ahmed is with him out there. 2 on him now as the ball moves down the touchline. It was Fatty over there with Ahmed trying to do his best to keep Dan Ndoye pinned out towards that touchline, and they did that. Switzerland have had to go back to the halfway line.
Yeah, I think Dan Ndoye tries to take a touch. Maybe he doesn't have the time for that. Maybe he can try and hit that on the volley. A confident Ndoye would have hit that on the volley. 1-0
Switzerland. Zakaria brings it down, but shows too much of the ball to the Qatar man after it hit his chest. It's swiped away by Issa Lai. The defensive midfielder from the first half has slotted into the back line now. Here he is again, right-footed pass out towards the left-hand touchline. Qatar in their slightly bright maroon outfit from left to right in this second half, trailing as they are by a 0 against Switzerland in their grey and green shirts, from right to left and in possession as they have been for much of the game. We've had 18 minutes of the second half.
Yeah, they've been convincing. They're dominating possession, keeping the ball, moving it 1 and 2 touch. They'll still be a bit wary though, because they want to get that second goal, and the manager will want them to get that second goal, because then once they get the second goal, it'll be game over.
Vargas, Rodriguez, and towards the centre circle for Manuel Akanji with his braided hair, short braided hair, former Manchester City man. He is now the former Manchester City man. £30 million move from Inter Milan confirmed upon winning Serie A and qualifying for the Champions League. That was the stipulation of the obligation to buy in his loan deal. A treble winner 3 years ago, the anniversary of that not so long ago for Manchester City. As good work from Zakaria, change of direction, turned down the right hand side, but before he gets the cross in, the ball goes out of play. It is going to be a goal kick to Qatar.
Yeah, Zakaria's done well down that right hand side. He's caused a lot of problems, and it's not his natural position, as I said earlier. He's a midfielder, but he's done well, and the referees actually give a corner, so it must have spun out of play, because he has give a corner now. I thought it was a goal kick, but he's give a corner.
Yeah, I'm not sure there is a heavy touch there from Ahmed. Here comes the double change for Switzerland, which is going to see Johan Manzambi come on then. So the hot pick of the young player of the tournament strides onto the pitch. Fresh-legged Abisha and Ndoye are the two that make way. And also on Fabian Rieder for Switzerland as part of a double change. Rieder is tipped to be the man who replaces Xhaka in the long term. Corner comes in, punched away by the goalkeeper, drops to the feet of Afif, and he's able to play it down the line for Ali Dean. Ali Dean then sends it back down the touchline closer to his penalty area. There is a push on the halfway line. That's given Qatar a free kick, I think it is. Elvedi, the offender. So we get our first look at Johan Manzambi for the first time in a World Cup. Seen as one of their biggest talents for years, and then, as mentioned, you've got Rieder coming on, who's tipped to replace Xhaka in long term, so no pressure on either of those two that have just come on.
No pressure whatsoever, in particular Rieder as well, trying to replace Granit Xhaka. No pressure.
Manchester United fans might remember Fabian Rieder. Scored for Young Boys at Old Trafford in a 1-1 draw in the group stage of the Champions League a few years ago. Just finished his first season at Augsburg in the Bundesliga. So we've played 21 minutes of this second half. It is as you were at half-time. Switzerland leading by 1-0. Brought down brilliantly by Vargas on the left-hand side. Closing in on the penalty area. Backtracking Qatar defence. Oh, what a dangerous ball that is by Xhaka. Left-footed first time. It whips outwardly turning across the 6-yard box, but nobody charging in to connect with the ball.
No, yeah, it's one of those where you're thinking, is he trying to whip that or is he going for goal? Like, you're in two minds, to be fair. It's a good little setback, and as soon as he gets it, he wants to whip it into that far corner.
So hydration break is called. Qatar 0, Switzerland 1 at the break. There is no change in our conversation between what happened in the first half and the second half. The pattern has been repeated. Xhaka has got one of Yakin's tacticians on here.
Yeah, he weren't happy. He was shouting over to the bench, Xhaka was. So something kind of upset him, which was happening with the coach, and the coach has run onto him, one of the coaches, and they're trying to explain it to him.
Yeah, the clipboard was out. He was flicking through the pages, turning it over and over to try and either relay to Xhaka what they were trying to do, or Xhaka trying to find the point that he was trying to make, as we look at a great TV angle of this open roof stadium. So there is zero shade for any. The only people who get the shade are in the main stand in the directors' boxes. They might get a little bit of air conditioning.
Yeah, it does look hot. Oh, it looks hot. It's some stadium, by the way. Some stadium. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it is an NFL ground. Has that NFL feel in the way it's built, the steep sides that bend round, short corners, not fully filled in as such. That's definitely the best time of year to be playing games like this, given I wouldn't want to be in an open roof stadium in the winter, but that is of no concern today. Blue skies all round, barely a breeze, and 21-degree heat.
It's going to play a big part in this tournament, the heat is. It's going to be, they always say who can like climatize to it, who can get used to the heat. I know they've been over there a few weeks now getting prepared for it, but yeah, especially at this time over there, the evening games, it might be a bit cooler, but it still be hot. But when it's bang right in the center of the afternoon, it is difficult. Look, you can even see the water break. The sprinklers are coming on, and then some of the players are going under the sprinklers.
Man with his top off in the crowd as well. It's not just the players getting a hydration break, the grasses too, and the referees as well. They've got a damp ice cold towel to dab across their forehead.
The referee didn't want to put the water in his hair. He didn't want to mess it up. Did you see it? His hair is perfect, the referee, by the way. It's so
He's
perfect.
come for the cameras.
Yeah.
All the officials today have come. How smiley were those VAR officials at the start when the camera was on them?
Very good, yeah.
They've come for their moment in the sun.
Exactly.
So the players are back out. Hydration break over. The time that we've had spent taking on the refreshment will be added on at the end of the game. So Qatar 0, Switzerland 1. Nearly 20 minutes gone. With a bit of Whitney Houston still blasting across the PA system. They'll need to take that off in a minute. I mean, I'm not complaining. Good choice.
They love a bit of music, don't they?
Yeah, this stadium is famed for it. Ed Sheeran, Taylor Swift had over 100,000 people at this ground.
Wow.
For one of her concerts. A stadium that officially opened 12 years ago. Yet weirdly, for a modern stadium, doesn't carry that modern feel about it.
No, it doesn't. It does look like it's a great atmosphere though, and you will enjoy playing there, but you want to play in the cooler conditions, that's for sure.
And I have to say, for all the talk of ticket prices at this World Cup, which is a big concern, there are a lot of full seats.
There is full seats, and because the ticket prices, we spoke about it the other day, they are been a bit too high. You will see some stadiums that won't be able to fill out the stadium, and that's just because of the ticket prices.
Afif nicks the ball away mid-high inside the Swiss half. He has an option to his left. He can't play the right ball. It was angled too close to the Swiss defender. Hits the Swiss player, a yard away from Afif, who was charging down on goal himself. Wondered if he fancied that effort, but it's just that moment again for Qatar. Wrong pass, wrong execution. Seen that a couple of times in this game.
Yeah, Fifi, like we bigged him up at the start, he's been their star player. He hasn't really delivered, and that was a good opportunity. It was a simple pass. Zakaria does well to read it, but he shouldn't get that opportunity.
Two-time Asian Footballer of the Year, Akram Afif. league winner with Al Sadd this year. Here's a chance for Switzerland to try and get the second goal of the game. It was Reeder taking the effort on, the substitute inside the D. Another shot blocked at source. Manzambi's brought down his man in the aftermath, so that's going to be a free kick to Qatar. It's a lovely turn from Reeder to take him away, and the legs were flying in from Qatar. They couldn't get near him.
Nah, yeah, Reeder, the way he took it on his back foot and turned and went past two defenders, it was a beautiful turn, but it was good defending in the end.
Scored for Switzerland in America as Reeder already. Scored in Salt Lake City in their friendly last summer against Mexico. 4-2 win for Switzerland against one of the hosts. First time ever that the World Cup has been held across 3 countries. Second time ever it's been split, after Japan and South Korea hosted in 2002. Here is Rodriguez up towards the halfway line. Qatar 0, Switzerland 1, BBC Radio 5 Live, bringing you commentary of all 4 games tonight. Brazil against Morocco follows, that's a tasty game. Then Scotland's chance. Kanji steps across in front of Afif, and the ball goes out off the Qatari man last, so throwing a Switzerland in the corner, left back position, near side.
Yeah, good defending from Akanji. Brilliant defending. We're looking at pictures here. Djukayev is in there. What a player he was, Djukayev. What a player he was, by the way.
1998 World Cup winner with France.
So you can't really say anything to him. He's won the World Cup. What more?
And maybe if anyone can have a word in the ear of Gianni Infantino sat in front of him,
yep,
it would probably be Yuri Djorkaeff.
Exactly.
Infantino might want to listen. All smiles though in the director's box. All smiles for Switzerland so far, who lead by a goal to 0. Here is Akanji, comfortably walking pace, if that, inside the centre circle. 20 attempts on goal for Switzerland. The stats read just 4 to Qatar, but 2 of that 4 have been on target, both of those for Ed Nielsen Jr. Switzerland rotate the ball from the far side, the right, bringing over towards the near side of the centre circle, again with Manuel Akanji. Completes the set, goes to Rodriguez. Vargas just drops a little deep midway inside the Qatar half to help keep the play moving in the San Francisco sun. Zakaria in from the right-hand side on this occasion. Freuler, Manzambi, he's dropped deep as well. The forwards want a little bit more of the action, perhaps. Qatar have intercepted Switzerland overplaying that, and so Pindo back in their left-back position on the far side of the field. They've actually worked that really well, found the space inside the 18-yard box, and there's time now for the ball to be brought forward by Kuki, the captain.
Yeah, very good football from Qatar, really good football.
And now they've opened up a little bit of space on the far side left to attack into. Edge of the Swiss defensive third, moving in from one side, switch back of direction. Qatar bundling their way forward here. Ed Nielsen Jr. causing problems again for Switzerland. He's found the space at times, now he's trying to create it. Long range shot rising over the bar from 25 yards out. Comes from Badaif, and that's going to be a goal kick.
Yeah, Badaif is saying, keep trying to play like that, because the way they played out from the back, be more confident, because it was really good football.
Taken him 75 minutes, but that was the best Qatar have played.
Yeah, definitely.
Then again, they've given the ball away, and Switzerland are in here with Vargas left-hand side of penalty and tries to curl it round Abu Nada, who parries it away, diving down to his left-hand side. More comfortable for the goalkeeper. Ball never had a curl behind it, really, that was going to be too problematic for him. It remains 1-0 Switzerland.
Yeah, it's poor from Vargas. It's 1-0, the game's still in the balance. You've got Mbolo, who's in the box by himself. Just roll it across him. If you put the ball in the net, I'll hold my hand up and say great finish, but he just has to roll it to him.
Manzambi, his set, the player clever ball to Mbolo, tries to put it between the goalkeeper's legs, side netting goal kick. Suddenly Switzerland are turning up the heat under the sun of San Francisco.
Wrong finish from Mbolo, wrong finish. It's brilliant play, great little ball to Mbolo, but he tried to go with the outside of his right foot. Go with your left foot. If you go with your left foot, you can try and dink it over the goalkeeper, and they said that outside, that's the most difficult finish to finish like that. So yeah, they've had 2 really good opportunities there, Switzerland, in the space of a couple of minutes.
So when we talk about their great ambitions of wanting to win the World Cup, Granit Xhaka has spoken about that. Is that the difference between the great sides and the good sides? That little quality in finishing there?
Yeah, definitely, 100%, and being ruthless in that final third, and that will be the difference. It will be your attacking players will win you the World Cup. It's a team game, but I think in them final thirds, if you have that X factor, which you look at, if you look at someone like a France who have Mbappe and the likes of Elise, Doué, players like that, and them special moments. England have it with Harry Kane, because if Harry Kane's in that position, he's finding the back of the net.
And the problem for Switzerland here, they've had double decades of chances now in terms of over 20. I think that's up to 22 now. Scores only 1-0. Qatar need one chance.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They haven't been ruthless enough, and that it could come back and haunt you. As I say, it takes a second to score a goal, and they're growing into this game. Qatar, they're getting more confident.
Qatar in possession, left-hand side, slide it forward, level with the corner of the penalty area here. Crosses, it looked good at first, it's bounced behind for a goal kick, overhit in the end as it aimed its way towards Al-Aidin. In the middle of the penalty area, almost on the 6-yard box, the ball was over his head. He's not the tallest man, and that might have just come to his detriment.
Yeah, Al-Aidin, he couldn't grow, could he? He couldn't grow any taller. He was thinking it was right onto his head, and then he just thought, I can't get there, to be fair. But it was good play again, down that left-hand side.
And Afif trying to race in, couldn't get there in time, and I wonder if Al-Aidin wondered whether to leave it. Didn't really challenge the ball once he realised it was over his head, didn't chase it. Almost felt that maybe Afif might get there. Here's Rodriguez for Switzerland. Finds Vargas with the shaved side of his head, a mini mullet, perhaps. Here's Akanji. Finds Elvedi. Right-footed, lofted ball, overhit. Behind it goes goal kick, 1-0 Switzerland.
Yeah, they're forcing it now, Switzerland, and you can see they're just starting to get a bit frustrated because they want to get that second goal. They want to get that second goal.
Second meeting between the two as changes happen for Qatar. They are going to take off Madibo, who has been very quiet. I've seen Madibo, I've seen very little of him, and Mohamed Manai is coming on. Came on as a sub in that friendly with the Republic of Ireland. Replaced 27 minutes later. Change for Switzerland too. Vargas, who's been okay on the left, he's had a good game for Switzerland. It's Zeki Amdouni, who will be known to Burnley fans, who comes on for him.
Yeah, Amdouni, we do know he's coming from Burnley, but that must, as you alluded to, Mike, Okafor must not be up to speed just yet, because he would have come on from more than Amdouni would have, because I think he's had a better season than him, so he's trying to manage his minutes because they probably need him in the latter stages.
Well, Amdouni's, of similar nature. Did end the season with Burnley, but he only played 4 Premier League games for them. He had an ACL tear that meant he missed all of the World Cup qualifiers.
Must believe in him then.
Yeah.
The manager must believe in him.
Maybe it's a choice between Okafor and Amdouni. It's Amdouni for this game. It might be Okafor's chance against Canada and Bosnia, the remaining 2 group games that will be for Switzerland in this group. Confirmation across the PA system goes on that Switzerland substitute. It is Switzerland with a throw-in, midway inside the Qatar half, far side their right. We have just over 10 minutes remaining of the 90 minutes. Switzerland leading by a goal to 0. And then our attentions on BBC Radio 5 Live will turn to Brazil against Morocco. Of Scotland interest too. Here is Amdouni. First action for him on the left-hand side. Has a little weave. Plays it back towards Freuler down the line near side. Lopetegui happy with the press there, was applauding his team. His chance at a World Cup, didn't get it with Spain. They sacked him on the eve of the 2018 tournament when they realised, and he'd openly said he was off to Real Madrid after the tournament. They said, well, fine, if you want to leave us, you leave us now. And they got rid of him pretty sharpish. He was part of the Spain team at USA 94, third choice goalkeeper. Mentioned now what it was. That's his memory of USA 94. Sat on the bench, especially in Dallas, he said. Qatar's games in San Francisco, Vancouver and Seattle this time, where perhaps thunderstorms are more likely, but certainly not today. Not a chance of that. Baking sunshine down across every blade of grass in the Bay Area Stadium Here is Rodriguez, left-hand side for Switzerland. Turned round the corner nicely. They've played that in some good one-touch fashion. Then Manzambi from range. Dipping shot. Whipping just past the near post. It goes behind for a goal kick. Abu Nada would have seen that flash past him.
Yeah, Manzambi picks the ball up. It's good little 1 and 2 touch, and once he gets into it, he's only got 1 foot in his mind, and it's kind of like that side foot finish. Like he's trying to get the power from it, and he does. It's like the knuckleball which you strike, which Ronaldo's very good at, and it just goes wide of the post.
He found the net in America last year when Switzerland were here as well. Scored in a 4-0 win over the US in Nashville. That's going to be a Qatar goal kick as it flies off the boot of Remo Freuler. Wearing number 8 on his back, the former Forest man now at Bologna. Part of the Bologna side that won the 2025 Coppa Italia, their first major trophy in 50 years. He's described himself as a very vocal man, Freuler. When he doesn't like something, he says it. Manzambi's got a little bit of space to turn. Sloppy on his pass, just invited the interception to come in from Al-Aidin, but the Qatar possession doesn't last very long. Switzerland have it back on the centre circle. 1-0 they lead. Inside the centre circle.
Yeah, you can. Like Qatar's not really a threat, Qatar, but you do worry, and I think Switzerland just want to get this second goal. If you can get this second goal, as I said, it's game over with the amount of time that we've got left. But why it's 1-0, always wary.
Qatar, the 2022 hosts, along with South Africa, of the 22 previous World Cup editions. They are the only 2 hosts never to get past the group stage. Here is Freuler, nice little dummy, allowed the ball to run across his body. He's played it out to the right-hand side. Zakaria can't get the cross in yet, but comes back to the right back getting forward. Here's Elvedi, he uses Zakaria again. Chooses not to cross it in this time. Right-footed pass back down the inside right channel. Elvedi swipes it. It's all action replay stuff here for Switzerland. They're doing the same movement over and over again. It's about the 3rd time we've seen that. This time Elvedi midway inside the Qatar half chooses not to go to Zakaria. Manzambi though plays it back to Elvedi, and we go again with Switzerland in possession. Akanji, little dummy and turn of pace from him, changes it out towards the left hand side, closed down by Mbolo. And deflection off Mbolo goes straight into the hands of Abu Nada.
Yeah, they got a good shape, Qatar, and you're probably thinking, why didn't we defend like this at the start of the game? And then, yeah, they would have definitely made. I'm not saying they would have contained Switzerland, but they've been much better.
Pace will be tested. Al-Aidin trying to get forward. Elvedi had it covered, and Kerbal was alert. He's had very little to do. Kerbal, couple of saves with his legs in the first half, but he raced to the edge of his box there and gathered the ball.
Yeah, sign of a good goalkeeper. You don't have too much to do, but he made 2 big saves in the first half.
Ball through for Mbolo, edge of the D, twists at a turn, trying to hold up the ball. Mbolo, oh, what was that touch? He passed it to Abu Nada. He glances to the skies and knows that's a chance that got away from Switzerland. He did all the hard work, the twist, the turn, the holding up of play. The next touch was a heavy one and let him down.
Yeah, it's a great ball from Xhaka, and he plays it into him, and you're thinking he's done everything right. And he can be frustrating because he's got a lot of good qualities about him, and that's the frustration in him, where he does ever so well. And then I think he's trying to drag it back onto his right foot and gets it completely wrong.
Qatar did have numbers back. Kisalai was in there. Kuki enabled that ball to run through his legs so the goalkeeper could gather. Into the final 5 minutes of the second half. Qatar 0, Switzerland 1, BBC Radio 5 Live. It is only Mbolo's penalty that is the difference between the two. Xhaka bends that with the outside of his left boot beautifully out towards Zakaria on the corner of the penalty area, laid back by Mbolo. Here's Manzambi into 3 Qatar players who quickly swallowed up the 20-year-old and have hacked the ball away back into the Switzerland half. The European side will come again.
Yeah, they will come again. It feels like now you do this in training, like training session, where it's attack against defence, and can you keep them out? And they've managed to do it so far.
1-0 Switzerland in what is, according to Opta, the weakest group at the World Cup. An average rating from their ratings of 70.8. Don't quite know how they work out those ratings, but they have. The strongest group, incidentally, Group K: France, Senegal, Norway and Iraq.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. I know one team that would definitely go through, France, but I can't tell you who the second team were, because that would be difficult. Senegal are a threat. and are a real threat, and they've got some top players. And Norway obviously have Haaland and Odegaard.
Switzerland have a free kick. They will top the group as it stands with this 1-0 win following Canada and Bosnia drawing 1-1. But if anyone feared Switzerland in this group, I think there's seen enough here, Canada and Bosnia, not to be too threatened by them in this game. They can create chances, they were expected to, but they haven't always linked up brilliantly. They haven't been clinical in finishing, certainly.
Yeah, watching the Canada and Bosnia game, I thought Canada were really good. I think they missed Alphonso Davies, but they've got players that can cause problems, and so can Bosnia. So you wouldn't be worried about Switzerland. You respect them, you're not worried.
Qatar cross on the left-hand side in towards Al-Aidin, headed by Akanji out towards this near side. This is where it's dangerous with Switzerland's solitary goal lead. A feet cross, loops up just under the crossbar, caught by Kerbal.
And that is what I said. One opportunity like that, it wasn't a chance, but they're getting into areas, getting crosses into the box. Kerbal does ever so well there. All it takes is one slip and one bad judgment, and you've conceded.
The coach, Murat Yakin, has been pretty calm on that technical area. I haven't seen too much of him in this game, but he must have a little edge to him now with this 1-0 lead so late on in the game that Qatar could just do what they did then and maybe finish themselves. Just under 3 minutes left of the 90.
Yeah, he'll be worried, but he knows he's got senior players on there, in particular Xhaka, that's got to manage the game for his team, for sure.
Amdouni just tries to steal the ball from a heavy touch that came from Kuki. Yeah, Amdouni got there first. Kuki was late on his sloppy control, and that's given Switzerland a free kick here.
Yeah, it was a big touch from Kuki, but he does get the ball, so I can understand why the Qatar bench are frustrated. He might go over the top of the ball. I don't think he catches Amdouni at all, so I can understand why Lopetegui and the rest of his teammates are disappointed.
Yeah, a big smile of disbelief from Julian Lopetegui when that free kick was awarded. So Edmilson, who's had those two big chances for Qatar, is their final substitution. Hassan Al-Haydos, for his 187th cap, comes onto the field. And then it's going to be another set of changes for Switzerland. Miro Muheim, the defender, the Hamburg defender, comes on. He replaces Rodriguez. Freuler off for Arden Jashari, the Milan man, Belgium's player of the year and young player of the year in his time at Club Bruges. They're the double change made by Murat Yakin. So they're fresh legs for both. And here is Muheim for his first touch. Quattro M, they call him, because all of his initials are M. Miro Max Maria Muheim. Can't do anything with his first set of passes. 8 assists for club and country this season. He might try and provide something late on to get that second goal, the former Chelsea Academy youngster. But what can Qatar do with perhaps their fresh legs? Manai turns the ball, and it's now out on the far side. Afif has now moved from the right to the left, and he's galloping forward here. He's played the ball into the box. Al-Aidin on the turn and shot low, trying for the near post. Kerbal dives down and saves the ball. That might be their chance.
That was the chance. Al-Aidin, he turns ever so well, but it's such a weak finish. It's a brilliant run, a good ball into Al-Aidin, and he turns ever so well, but he can't get enough power in the shot. It's a comfortable save, but that was a big opportunity for them, Mike.
Mentioned he'd never scored outside of Asia for his country, and might not get a better chance than that to do so. Jashari on the ball, his mop of brown hair, fresh on for Switzerland. Missed the first half of this season with a broken fibula, but he's made good progression since coming back into the AC Milan setup. No surprise he's come on from the bench. He's only completed 90 minutes once in 20 games this season. And Bono's got some holding up to do. Turns his defender as well. Waits for the support to come inside the D. Zakaria blasts the ball right across the 6-yard box. Enough pace on that if anyone could touch it, it was going in. But no one could get there, including Fabian Rieder. And it's gone out for a throw-in on this near side.
It's a great ball. It's a great ball. Being the next striker, I'd be crying out for a ball like that into the box. It's poor from Switzerland. They've got to have more bodies into the box. And Bola holds it up. Zachary with a great ball into the box. Have to get bodies into the box.
6 minutes of added time, just like there were at the end of the first half.
That's just on repeat, that board, because there's not been that much stoppages to have 6 minutes of added on time. So it's just on repeat.
I think everyone's just copy and pasting this game, aren't they? Fourth official with his board. The way that Switzerland are playing is very readable at times. Qatar blowing chances. Plenty of talking points, all of the same nature. Is that it's hit up away by El Haydos. It'll drop down on the halfway line. Switzerland in possession. Here is Manzambi. What pace has he got in this game? Tries to poke it on through from Mbolo on the edge of the penalty area. It doesn't come out. And now Qatar have it with Afif, waiting for the right pass. El Haydos gets there, but not in time, and the pass is intercepted. Here's Amdouni from range, 20 yards out. Tried the right-footed effort. Blocked at source. Akanji's found a little turn of pace to eat up the yards on Al Aidin. And it's gone out for a throw-in on this near side. Lopetegui a lot more excitable than Murat Yakin, the Switzerland coach.
Yeah, he's kicking every ball, Lopetegui. But his team have done him proud so far. They've done him proud. They've competed. They've not been overruled. And they've created a few half chances in this second half. And in particular, 2 golden ones in the first half.
Never met in a World Cup, but they did meet in 2018, November 2018. Qatar won that 1-0. Switzerland leading here by a goal to 0. Where's that ball ricocheted? Out to the far side. Throw in to Switzerland. Let's see who it came off last. Sip of water for Murat Yakin, his brown glasses, square glasses. Qatar fans still smiling, still waving their flags. As the throw-in is taken by Zakaria. Back towards Elvedi. Switzerland looking here for a second goal that will win them the game. They float across in, and this time the goalkeeper Abu Nada does make the right call, does catch the ball and races to the edge of his penalty area, but has got no one to distribute the ball to quickly.
No, the referee will be counting him, and he puts the ball down. And they just haven't had enough runners and, players willing to run in behind.
But one sloppy pass from Switzerland will invite Qatar back in, which it has happened here. Manai bundled over, wins a throw-in for his side. Midway through then, the 6 minutes of added time that was shown at the end of the 90. Qatar 0, Switzerland 1, BBC Radio 5 Live, Brazil, Morocco to follow. Football Daily released every morning from 7 a.m. Rick Edwards and Lloyd Griffiths will have the rundown of all the action. So if you do go to bed, if you're not a night owl like Clinton Morrison, you can catch up with that from 7 a.m. It'll drop on wherever you get your podcasts from. Qatar, long ball forward out towards the right-hand side, headed on by Pedro Miguel, who's probably been perhaps their star man in this game. Pedro, the way he's defended and played the right balls and won some good free kicks for his side.
Yeah, you're spot on, Mike. I think he's defended ever so well. He's had a good battle. He's put his body on the line and he's defended, and he's been a threat as well when they've got set pieces. So you can see, he can be pleased with his performance so far.
Certainly across 90 minutes. He was more impactful in 45. It doesn't feel like it's had the same intensity in this second half. Here comes a feed down the left-hand side. We'll have the layout of Ahmed. That's a good cross in. It will be attacked and in! Qatar have stolen a point! Hanan Ahmed gets up from the back, heads it in at the near post, and Qatar may have their first ever point at a World Cup. Qatar won, Switzerland won.
That's what happens. You don't take your chances, you get punished. You don't get that second goal. I said it. It just takes a split second. It's a great ball into the box, and the header's fantastic. He wants it the most. He's attacking it. It's a fantastic moment, and it's a brilliant opportunity. And they're looking at the Switzerland boss. He'll be disappointed. His whole team should be disappointed, but credit to Qatar. They kept on going. It is a fantastic header.
He's so emotional, mobbed by his teammates. He's down on his back, looks like he's got his hands across his eyes with tears in them, because that's a huge moment for Qatar, who have stuck in the game, faced wave after wave of Switzerland attack and held them off. And it is Hammam Ahmed to step up with the header in the 90th minute and beyond, to win a point, to gain a point, and just sheer emotion on the Qatar faces.
Yeah, it's sheer emotion. I'm trying to see the replay, because does he get the final contact? I don't know if it possibly could be an own goal. but I'm not sure. But he's all over him at the back post, and it's the substitution who's come on. And I don't like it when you take off a fullback like Rodriguez and make a substitution. Shouldn't make defensive substitution unless there's injuries. And as I said, you get punished, Switzerland, and they've been punished. Brilliant from Qatar. What a moment.
Qatar, who were left humbled as host nation 3.5 years ago, have now come to the new host of the World Cup and maybe earned themselves a point. There are hands on hips from the Swiss players who can't quite believe in the 95th minute, having led for much of this game, Qatar might have a point here. 1-1 the score, kick-off, and now expect a wave of Switzerland pressure.
Yeah, you will, but I think there's only a minute to go, and we've seen it many a times, but what a header it was.
Manzambi, lovely footwork. He tries to get a cross in. It hits a Qatar man, defending to do because that's a corner.
Yeah, it's good play from Manzambi, but really good defender. But always the same. As soon as someone concedes, they want to go down the other end. You should have played like that for the whole of the second half. Credit to Qatar.
Switzerland will feel sick given the goal they conceded, but Qatar now will be sick with nerves trying to hold on to this point. In goes the corner. Heads up, it is away at the back from Issa Lai. Back out to the corner taker on the far side. Cross comes back in. Goalkeeper makes the right decision and punches away. Wild shot comes in from the edge of the penalty area from Switzerland's Jashari. And now the goalkeeper down on the floor is cheered on by his teammates. They're patting his chest because that was a big pumped fist away.
It was, and his manager's like, get up. You've done well for your team, but don't waste any more time because we don't want to concede. This is a brilliant story for Qatar if they can get a point against Switzerland, who many think can cause a lot of a big upset in this World Cup. What a result this will be for Qatar.
I'll say it again, if you're Canada or Bosnia watching on, you'll know Switzerland are there. There goes the whistle. The Qatar bench runs onto the field. Abu Nada collapses onto his knees and kneels down on the floor. His big save at the end has kept Qatar not only in the game, but to earn their first point ever at a World Cup. Switzerland, who were in control for much of the game, didn't score from open play. Their goal came from an Embolo penalty. But in the 95th minute, what a header, what a moment for Qatar to equalise and to get their first point at a World Cup and a point on the board in Group B in 2026.
Yeah, these are what stories are made of. You can see there's a lot of emotional players out there. For them to come here and get a point at the World Cup so far, and this will give them confidence moving forward. I thought they were fantastic. Credit to them, because when Switzerland score early, you think, oh, could they get out of sight? But no, out of hand. They stay in the game and they get that opportunity. And that's why I always say, so important to get the second goal in the game and make it 2-0. But credit to Qatar. Fantastic for the players and for the fans that have gone there.
Qatar's fans in the stands are jumping around. They're waving scarves across the head as the Swiss fans look solid, dumbstruck almost. Don't know what to think. Don't know what to say about their side's performance. Granit Xhaka down in the dugout, taking in some shade, but taking in a lot of reflection, I imagine, as well. The captain of this Swiss side, he boasted about them winning the World Cup. They've got a lot of work to do if they want to improve and go further in this tournament. But what a day for Qatar, perhaps the first shock of the tournament at the 2026 edition. It has finished in San Francisco. Qatar won, Switzerland won.
And one of the features, Clinton Morrison, of this expanded World Cup is going to be nations like Qatar having their moment. They're not going to win the World Cup. They might well not get out of their group, but that is historic. And from the sounds of it in the stadium, pretty hysterical as well.
Oh, definitely. You live for moments like this, Crossy, without a shadow of doubt. You live for moments like this. No one expected them to probably get a point in this group, but they've got a point. You see the celebrations, and at the end, they've all run onto the pitch, and they know how big it is, and they're now going over to their fans and applauding them. It's special moments like that, and this is what you live for, the World Cup and emotions like this, and the underdogs causing an upset by taking a point. Yeah, a fantastic achievement for them.
Clinton, Mike, thank you both very much indeed. Cheers. So, Qatar get a point just right at the death. Julian Lopetegui, the head coach, said before the tournament, football owed me a World Cup after the absolute fiasco he had with Spain previously. Well, maybe he feels that football owed him a point in that game after the controversy over the Swiss goal that put them in front. So Qatar 1, Switzerland 1. We have got